You can make money online from home without any experience by selling on Amazon. And I'm gonna show you step by step how I created this real Amazon FBA business in just 7 days. And this business is now making close to $10,000 every single month. And I've taught people just like you how to make an extra $100,000 to $1 million a year using this step-by-step method I'm gonna teach you in this video. And there are 3 common ways to sell on Amazon. The first is where you find products that are being sold at a discount, like this above ground swimming pool that's being sold on Walmart.com for $199. But this exact same product is being sold on Amazon.com for $467. So what you could do is buy this product from Walmart.com at the discounted price, sell it on Amazon.com for that increased price, and keep all the profit. This is called retail arbitrage. The second way to sell on Amazon is called wholesale. And you can go to sites like globalsources.com where you can buy products with a wholesale discount and then flip it on Amazon for the full retail price. Like this product right here, and this snorkel set is being sold on globalsources.com for $15. And the same exact snorkel set is being sold on Amazon.com for over double the price, $38.99. So you can buy it in bulk from globalsources.com, flip it on Amazon.com, and keep all the profit. The third type of product you can sell on Amazon is products like these goggles right here, which are making over $580,000 in sales every single month. And you can find out how much any product on Amazon is making by using the free Jungle Scout sales estimator tool. And to do that, all you have to do is go to the product listing page, scroll down to the bottom of that page, and copy the best-selling rank number here. We're then gonna paste it in the free Jungle Scout sales estimator tool. Click on the marketplace, in this case it's the United States, and then select category, which for this product is sports and outdoors, and then paste in the best-selling rank number that we copied from the product page on Amazon. And we can see that this product is selling over 52,000 units every single month. And since it's being sold for over $10, when we do the math, that's over $581,000 in sales for just this one product every single month on Amazon. But what's crazy about that is this exact same product is being sold on Alibaba.com for just 99 cents a piece. So you can buy this product in bulk, put your own brand on it, and sell it on Amazon for a huge markup. And this is called private label, where you buy products in bulk, but you create your own brand, you slap it on the product, and you sell it on Amazon with your own Amazon listing. And this makes it so you're not competing with other Amazon sellers on your listing because it's your brand, it's your product, and no one else can sell your branded product on your listing. And these are the 3 most common ways that you can sell products on Amazon. But there's actually a 4th way to sell on Amazon that I personally think is the best way for you to make money selling products on Amazon right now. And I'm gonna share with you step by step how to do all 4 of these methods for selling on Amazon in this video. And my name's Travis, and I've done over $6 million in sales using this new way of selling on Amazon that I'm gonna talk about later in this video. So smash the like button, because this is the only video on the internet where I'm gonna show you step by step how I actually created a legitimate Amazon FBA business. And the best part about this is I created this business in just 7 days. And by watching and following this entire video, you can do the same thing. You can create your own Amazon business in just 7 days. And we're gonna use this product as an example throughout the entire video so you can see from A to Z exactly what it would be like to start your own Amazon business. And warning, a lot of people think that selling on Amazon is dead, that you can't make money from Amazon FBA anymore. And it's true. A lot of people are struggling to actually make money selling on Amazon, but it's because they're selling the wrong type of product. There are 9 million Amazon sellers and 4,000 new sellers joining every single day. And 85% of all those sellers are doing it wrong, because 85% of sellers are either doing wholesale or private label, which means that these ways of selling on Amazon are extremely competitive, oversaturated, and there's not really any good products left to sell with wholesale or private label. And if you do get lucky or find a winning product with these methods of selling on Amazon, it's just a matter of time until another seller comes in and they start selling the exact same product as you and undercutting you on price. And that's why I recommend that you use this 4th way of selling on Amazon that I call creating a passion product. My student Jeremy is making over $30,000 a month selling his passion product. AJ makes over $40,000 $40,000 a month, and Brent, in just the last 12 months, has made over $1 million selling just this one product on Amazon. And I've taught this method for selling on Amazon to over 1,000 students, so I know that if you follow the steps that I'm gonna share with you in this video, you can start making money with Amazon FBA that's gonna be passive income. I wanna be clear, you can still make money with retail arbitrage, wholesale, and private label, but these are not the best ways to create a long-term passive income business. But I do still think that these different methods are a good way for you to test out selling on Amazon.com if maybe you're a little bit nervous. And I'll talk about the pros and the cons for all these different ways of selling on Amazon later in this video, because depending on where you're at, it might make more sense for you to start with retail arbitrage or one of these other methods. But if you're looking to make 6 figures plus with a passive income business, this fourth way that I'm gonna show you in this video is by far the best way to actually make a passive income business. But first, it's important to know how selling on Amazon works. And Amazon has over 300 million Prime customers going to their website every single day looking to buy products. Last year alone, people spent over $600 billion buying things from Amazon.com. But the most important thing you need to know is that 2/3 of all the sales that happen on Amazon's website are from third-party sellers. That's people like you and me selling our products on Amazon's website. But the reason I think that what I'm about to share with you is the best way to make money online right now is because of the Amazon FBA program. And there's 2 different ways that you can sell products on Amazon. There's FBA and FBM. FBM stands for Fulfilled by Merchant. This is where you sell products on Amazon's website. And anytime your product gets a sale, you will package up and ship out the product to your customer yourself, which means that you need to spend time packaging up the product and going to the post office, plus you need to spend money on shipping out your product. However, if you take advantage of the FBA program, which stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, all you have to do is get your manufacturer to send your products into the Amazon warehouse. And anytime you get a sale for one of your products that are being sold on Amazon, Amazon will pick, pack, and ship the product out for you, meaning that you don't have to spend your time packaging up your product or going to the post office. In fact, you don't even have to be in the United States. You could be traveling the world, spending your time living wherever you want to do, because Amazon is handling all the hard parts of running your business for you. Another benefit of using FBA is it makes your product Prime eligible, which means that your product will get a Prime eligible badge, and any Prime members that go to Amazon to buy a product can receive your product within 2 days. And products that are Prime eligible get way more sales than non-Prime products. This is because most people that buy products from Amazon want to buy Prime eligible products so they can get the product shipped to them within 2 days. And Amazon is more likely to recommend a Prime product and put that product at the top of the search results. And when people are buying products from Amazon, they're more likely to buy products that are at the top of the search results. And this is why I call creating an Amazon FBA business passive income. Amazon already has over 300 million Prime customers going to their website looking to buy products every single day. On top of that, Amazon's gonna handle all the shipping and handling of sending out your product to your customer. That means by creating an Amazon FBA business, you're creating a machine that's going to print you money, and you can remove yourself from the business. You can spend your time doing what you love to do, and your business will keep making you money. And all you really need to do is occasionally send emails to your manufacturer to ship more products into the Amazon warehouse. And Amazon has spent over $100 billion in marketing, getting customers to go to their website, to trust Amazon. And right now, Amazon gets 2.4 billion people a month going to their website looking to buy products. So by selling on Amazon, you're taking advantage of a trend that's going to continue to grow year after year, and right now is the perfect time to get started. And now let's talk about the pros and the cons of the different ways to sell on Amazon. And retail arbitrage is the easiest way to start selling on Amazon, and it doesn't take a lot of money. So it's a great way to get started and test out selling your first product on Amazon. But in the long run, it's actually a lot of work because you constantly need to be hunting for new products to sell. And another con is you don't own the products that you sell, which means that other people can go buy from a retail store the exact same product that you're buying and sell that exact same product on the same listing as you on Amazon, which means that there is a lot of competition and that other people are going to be able to do exactly what you're doing. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I don't recommend this in the long run. The same is true for wholesale. With wholesale, you're going to a company, you're buying their products in bulk, and you're selling them on Amazon. But there's nothing stopping other people from buying those exact same products in bulk and selling them on the exact same listing as you. With wholesale, you don't own the product, you don't own the brand, you're basically just a middleman. But one of the big pros with the wholesale method of selling on Amazon is it's relatively easy, because you don't need to create a product, you don't need to create a brand. You can just find an existing product and sell that. So if you want to get started and test out selling on Amazon, this could be a really easy way to do it. But huge warning, if it's easy for you to do, it's easy for other people to do. And even if you find a product that starts making you money, eventually other people are going to find that exact same product and you're going to have a lot of competition. And at any point, the owner of the products that you're buying with the wholesale discount can cut you off. They can decide that they want to cut you out as the middleman and sell their products directly on Amazon themselves. And that's where private labeling comes in. And the big pro with private label is no one else can sell on your listing because you own the brand of the product that you're selling. But sadly, with private label, you don't actually own the product that you're selling. The manufacturer can private label this exact same product to other sellers, and those other sellers, even though they can't sell on your product listing, they can create their own listing, which means that when someone goes to Amazon and searches for your product, there's going to be a ton of competition in the search results. So there could still be a ton of people selling the exact same product as you, but just with different branding. And that's why I recommend creating a passion product, which is similar to private label, but the main difference is you don't just take an existing product and slap your brand on it. You actually improve the product, and there are two main ways to create a passion product. You can take an existing product and just improve it like Brent did with Sear Pro, or you can create a brand new product that's not on the market from scratch like Jeremy did with Slim Caddy. And the product I'm gonna use as an example in this video is called Carnivore Electrolytes. It's a premium blend of electrolytes formulated perfectly for people that are on the carnivore diet. And I'm gonna share with you why I decided to sell this specific product, how I found this product, which is called product research, and every single step of taking this product from an idea all the way to launching it on Amazon. And these are the steps that I use to create this Amazon FBA business. And these are the same steps you will follow whether you're doing private label or creating your own passion product. Now, if you want to try retail arbitrage or wholesale instead, it's very simple, but instead of following these steps, you'll just follow these steps. And I put this video in order, step by step, how we created this business and how you should create your own Amazon business. But there are timestamps down below that link to every section. So if you do want to jump around, you can do that by clicking on the timestamps down below. And as I mentioned, creating an Amazon business is easy. It only took me 7 days to create this Amazon business, but just to be clear, those 7 days weren't 7 days in a row. I was working about 1 day a week on this business, and sometimes I would actually take a break of a few weeks while I was waiting for manufacturing to get done or shipping to get done into the Amazon warehouse. And this is the exact method that I teach in my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Product Formula. And in that program, I go into way more depth about how to find a product, how to create a brand, and really every single step of creating your own Amazon FBA business. There is a link down below to the waitlist if you want to find out more information about my Amazon FBA program. It comes with over 100 step-by-step lessons showing you exactly how to create your own Amazon business, plus weekly Q&A calls with either myself or one of my Amazon FBA coaches, access to a private Facebook mastermind, and a ton of other benefits. I highly recommend if you're looking to start your own Amazon FBA business to join that program. But right now you can get started by watching this free step-by-step tutorial where I'm going to show you how I created this product. And I recommend the first time you watch this video to just lay back and relax and try to watch this video all the way till the end, because I want you to have an idea of how all these different pieces fit in together. And it's okay if you can't do it in one sitting. Try to watch as much of this video as you can in the first sitting and then come back later and rewatch it for a second time. And on the second time, take notes, because at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 biggest mistakes that new Amazon sellers make. And if you're thinking about selling on Amazon, this is going to be the most important part of the video. And now I'm going to show you how to find a profitable product to sell on Amazon. This stage is called product research. because you're researching the best products for you to sell that'll make you the most money. And remember, if you haven't yet, to smash the like button, because this video took a ton of work to make, and this is the only tutorial that shows you how a real Amazon FBA business was created step by step. And the first step of how you do product research is going to depend on which way of selling on Amazon you choose. But no matter what, the goal with product research is to find a product that's going to sell really well where there's not a lot of competition. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. I found a product which I know can make over $100,000 a year using this new, completely free technique. And best of all, it only takes 5 minutes for you to be able to find your first Amazon FBA product. And the first step I took to find this product, and the first step that you're gonna take, is to go to Amazon.com. And you can find out exactly what you should be selling on Amazon by going to Amazon's website. Because Amazon actually tells you what products are making the most money. All you have to do is click on the bestseller section. And people always ask me, is it too late to sell on Amazon? Can you still make money selling on Amazon's website? And the answer is yes. This product is making $400,000 per month. And it was only launched a few months ago. It only has 50 reviews. So if this product can have success, you can also have success selling on Amazon. And anytime you're looking for what type of product to sell on Amazon, click on the new releases tab to see what is hot, what is trending right now. And that's how I found this product. And here's a secret. If you want to know how much any product on Amazon is making, all you have to do is go to the product page, scroll down to the best-selling rank number, copy that, paste that in the Jungle Scout Sales Estimator tool, and it'll tell you how many units per month this product is selling. You multiply that by the price of the product, and we can see that this product is making over $400,000 in sales every single month. And it's crazy when you start finding out how much different products on Amazon are making. And the secret to still make money selling on Amazon right now is to understand that the riches are in the niches. And let's see right now how much money you can actually make selling on Amazon. So we're gonna go back to the bestseller tab and we're gonna look at the different categories. As I mentioned, the riches are in the niches. So let's look at the appliance category. And let's take a look at this fridge right here, which is doing over $1 million in sales every single month. That's over $10 million a year. But I don't recommend you sell this product because one, it's an electronic product. And if you are a beginner selling on Amazon, most electronic products are probably gonna be pretty hard for you to sell. It's also a very heavy item. And when you're selling on Amazon, you're going to have to pay the Amazon FBA fee. FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. And when someone goes to Amazon and orders your product, Amazon will pick, pack, and ship the product to the customer, but they do charge a shipping fee for this. So if you're selling a heavy product, it's gonna be a lot more money that you're gonna have to spend on that shipping fee. So let's look at another category. And one of my favorite categories to sell on in Amazon is grocery and gourmet. In fact, my first Amazon FBA passion product was in this category and it did over $300,000 in sales in my first year. And this product here seems interesting and it's actually doing over $600,000 in sales every single month. But I wouldn't recommend selling this product because the price is too low. It's under $15, and if you're selling a product that's under $15, it's very hard to make a profit because you're gonna have to subtract out the cost that you buy the product for or your manufacturing costs. Then you're gonna have to subtract out the Amazon FBA fee that I already mentioned, as well as the Amazon selling fee. And anytime you're selling on Amazon's website, you'll have to pay 15% of whatever the price of your product is to Amazon. Though there is a way to get around this and get that number down to 5% that I'll talk about later in this video. So let's look at one more category, and this is where I found the $100,000 product that I'm gonna show you in this video. And this category is health and household, but when you look at this category, it's mostly batteries and paper towels and other generic things that you don't want to sell on Amazon. I always recommend trying to sell a premium product. Don't try to sell a basic product and compete on price, because if you try to have the lowest price on Amazon, there's always going to be someone else that can sell the product for cheaper than you. And the key phrase to remember when doing product research is the riches are in the niches. So on the left-hand side here, this is all the subcategories. This is where we're gonna start looking for the real gold product. And right here, I see something extremely interesting. Out of the top 8 products in the sports nutrition category, 3 of them are electrolyte powders. This first product is doing over $3 million in sales every single month. That's over $40 million in sales. This next electrolyte supplement is actually doing over $5 million in sales. And this last one is doing over $2 million in sales every single month. And when we search for electrolytes on Amazon, we can see that there's dozens of electrolyte products. And if you add up how much all these different products are making, this is a $100 million category. And it makes sense because this product is consumable, which is one of the top things I look for in products that I'm going to sell on Amazon. Because when someone buys this product, they're going to eat it or drink it, and they're going to need to order more. Meaning every time you get a new customer, you have a new customer that's going to order again and again and again. It's also an evergreen product. I recommend staying away from seasonal products, things like Christmas or Halloween decorations that people are only really buying a few months out of the year, and instead try to buy a product like this that people are going to be buying all year round, because all year round, people are going to need electrolytes. And this is the first step on how I found my product. But the problem is that there is way too much competition in the electrolyte category. So we have to ask ourselves, how do we stand out? And there's a tool called Helium-10, and this is my secret weapon. Because the key thing to know when selling on Amazon is that Amazon is a search engine. People go to Amazon to search for things that they want to buy. For instance, people might go and search for electrolytes, and then they're going to be taken to this search result page that shows all the different electrolyte products on Amazon. But as I mentioned, the riches are in the niches. Most people don't go to Amazon and just search for electrolytes. They are taking electrolytes for a specific reason. And if we can figure out exactly what they're searching for in Amazon, and we make a product perfect for what they're searching for, they're gonna buy our product over the competition. And if you understand this one thing, you can almost guarantee success with your Amazon FBA business. And the first step is to sign up for Helium-10. They do have a free plan, but if you want to sign up for the paid plan, I have the hookup with Helium-10. There's a link down below in the description with the best discount code you can get for Helium-10. Once you've signed up, we're going to log in and we're going to go to the magnet tool. And with this tool, you can type in something that people might be searching for in Amazon, and this tool will tell you exactly how many times per month people are actually searching for it. I recently was trying out the carnivore diet. This is a diet where you eat pretty much just meat. So I went to this tool and I typed in carnivore to see how many people per month are searching for things related to this diet. And we can see that over 2,000 people per month are searching exactly carnivore in Amazon, which means that there are some people interested in the carnivore diet searching for products on Amazon. This tool then gives you ideas of products you can sell and shows you related phrases that people are searching and how many times people are searching them per month. For instance, meat seasonings being searched over 170 times per month, and candied bacon is being searched over 800 times per month. But we don't really want to sell meat seasoning or candied bacon on Amazon, because when we search for meat seasoning, there are thousands and thousands of products that fit this exact description. We're going to go through this list and search for a product that has a high search volume. But when you go to Amazon and search for that phrase, there's no products that really exist that meet that criteria. And at the top of this list is butterwort carnivorous plant. And when we click on this and we look on Amazon, there's actually a lot of products being sold that fit this description. And I don't really recommend selling a living plant on Amazon. That's just a recipe for disaster. So we're gonna go through this list and we're gonna look for opportunities of products that we can sell. And on the second page, I found this carnivore electrolytes that's being searched over 400 times per month. And best of all, when we go to Amazon and we search for this, there's no products that really fit this description. There are a ton of electrolyte products out there, but none that are made specifically for the carnivore diet. So knowing that over 400 people per month are searching for exactly carnivore electrolytes, we're gonna create a product that is perfect for them, where the name of the product and the branding is specifically targeted at customers that are on the carnivore diet. Now I'm gonna show you just how easy it is to find a profitable Amazon FBA product. And I'm gonna do it live right now. I'm gonna find 3 different Amazon FBA products, including one that will make you $100,000 per year, another one that'll make you $50,000 per year, and a third and final one that'll make you $20,000 per year. And these are real ideas that I'm gonna find live right now, and you can steal any of these ideas and start your own Amazon FBA business. And I'm gonna show you how to do that right now, but if you want even more help and you want my mentorship, I have an in-depth Amazon FBA program that goes step by step and shows you exactly how to do this. And there's a link down below if you wanna get on the waitlist for the next time that I open up this program. It also comes with weekly Q&A calls with either myself or one of my certified coaches. So if you ever get stuck, if you ever have questions, we're here for you. It used to be 5, 6, 7 years ago that you could sell almost anything on Amazon and make a ton of money. You need a way to stand out, to differentiate yourself, and to make sure that people aren't just gonna come copy your product. And you can take anything that you're passionate about and find a profitable product to sell on Amazon using this tool. And let me prove it to you. Let's say you absolutely hate the idea of the carnivore diet and that you're vegan and you're really passionate about that. All you have to do is type in the word vegan in here and click get keywords. And we can see that vegan is way more popular than the carnivore diet, with over 45,000 people per month searching for this. And if we scroll down and we click on the Magnet IQ score, we can start finding products that are perfect for vegan people to be selling on Amazon. And I do always recommend selling a product that you're passionate about, because it's gonna make it easier to actually get the product launched, to do marketing, and to get sales. So the first product that comes up is Native Deodorant. And this product is making $1 million per month, but we don't wanna resell someone else's product. We wanna create our own brand. Now you could look at this product as an example and see how could you make a better product than this? How could you make it more specific? Maybe call it vegan deodorant, or somehow make it very obvious that it's a vegan friendly product. And since this natural native deodorant is making over $10 million per year, if you came out with your own vegan branded deodorant, you could probably expect to make around $100,000 per month if you properly marketed it using the tools that I talk about in my Amazon FBA program, linked down below. But let's keep moving. Let's see if we can find a better product to sell. The next thing I see is omega-3 algae. And omega-3 is usually made from fish oil, so it's not vegan. So let's see how many people per month are searching for vegan omega-3. And there's over 6,000 people per month searching for vegan omega-3. So let's go over to Amazon, type this in, and see if there's any products that are targeting vegan omega-3. And sadly, there are a bunch. So we're too late to this party. And that's one of the key things when selling on Amazon is you wanna be the first one in your category. You wanna be the first one to sell the product. So a couple of years ago, before these products existed, if we could have been the first vegan omega-3, we would have probably been the dominant player here, like this one that has over 2,000 reviews, or this one that has over 9,000 reviews. And let's see how much in sales this product is making every month. And it's selling over 8,000 units per month. And if you multiply that by the $22.49, we can see that this product is doing over $100,000 in sales every single month. So if you use the power of Helium 10's magnet tool and you're the first one to market, you could easily be making over $50,000 per month. The next one I saw is vegan candy, and this is being searched over 4,000 times per month. And when we go to Amazon and we search for vegan candy, there is a lot of candy products, but none of these are obviously meant for vegans. And if we look at this top product result right here, this product is making over $50,000 in sales every single month. So if you make a vegan candy where it's obvious that it's for vegans, you could easily be making $50,000 in sales every single month. But again, it would require you to create premium packaging and really make sure that your product stands out, which is something I talk about in depth in my Amazon FBA program. And this could actually turn into a whole vegan candy company where you could do vegan kisses candy and even things like vegan Easter candy, Halloween candy. You could target all these different search terms. So when you combine all these together, this could easily become a $1 million plus Amazon FBA brand. Another example I saw is vegan jerky, which is being searched over 3,000 times per month. And when we go to Amazon, you can see that there is some plant-based jerky, but it's not obvious to me that this is meant for vegan people. This product right here is the best example of a vegan jerky. And when we go to Helium 10 and we check how much money it's making, it's actually making over $20,000 per month. And now that you know how to find a product to sell on Amazon, let's talk about all the legal aspects of starting your own Amazon business. But before I get into that, I want to let you know that I go into way more depth about how to find a product for you to sell on Amazon in my Amazon FBA program. There's over 2 hours of step-by-step recordings showing you how to find your own product, plus worksheets, templates, and a bunch of other things that make finding a product to sell on Amazon so freaking easy. But before you start selling on Amazon, you're gonna need to make sure that your business is legally set up, which is actually extremely easy to do. And in this next section, I'm gonna show you how you can do it and how we did it for Carnivore Electrolytes. There are over 14,000 new online businesses started every single day, but some of them end up getting audited by the IRS because they're not properly set up. But luckily for you, I'm gonna show you the 5 steps that you need to follow to start an online business legally. Whether you're starting an Amazon business or a Shopify store or really any kind of online business, this is the exact method that you need to follow so you can get all your business paperwork in order and to make sure that you don't get in trouble with the IRS or the government. And in this video, I'm gonna show you all the steps that I did to launch this new online business that I'm starting. And the first step is to apply for a legal business entity. This could be an LLC, a DBA, or an S Corp. And we're gonna talk about the pros and the cons of all of these later in the video. The next step is to get an EIN number. EIN stands for Employer Identification Number. All businesses in the United States need to have an EIN. This is like the social security number for your business. It's quick and easy to do. A lot of places want to charge you money to do it. You don't need to pay a dime. I'm going to show you the free way to do it later in this video. After that, the third step is to get a seller's permit. And this does depend on what state you live in, but this is also free and easy to get, and I'll talk about how to do that later in this video. Step 4, once you've completed all the legal paperwork, it's time to take that paperwork and go start a business bank account. And by having a business bank account, it's going to allow you to keep your business and your personal finances separated, which makes it so you're a lot less likely to get audited by the IRS. When you start intermingling these two things, you're asking for trouble. And step 5 is to get a business credit card. And this is one of the most fun parts of this video. I've used business credit cards to get free flights, free hotel stays. Basically now when I travel for free. And the first step to starting an online business is deciding what kind of legal entity structure do you want to have. And you can do a DBA, LLC, or S Corp. And it just makes it so that you and your business are separate. And a DBA stands for doing business as. This is the easiest and the cheapest way to start a business, but as a con, it doesn't offer any kind of legal protection. Another con is you can't sell shares of your company if that's something that you might be interested in down the road. And a DBA will cost you around $99 on websites like LegalZoom.com. It takes about 15 minutes to fill out the paperwork. It's extremely easy, and I recommend a DBA for anyone that's new to starting a business where the chance of them getting sued is pretty low. However, if for your online business you do want some legal protection to make sure that if someone sues your business, they can't come after your personal assets, you're going to want to look at an LLC. LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. And the biggest pro to this, as I mentioned, is it gives you full legal protection so people can't come after your personal assets. And this only really makes sense if you're starting an online business where you're selling something that's consumable or your product or service has a chance of hurting your customers in some way. If you're just selling your services, you probably don't necessarily need an LLC, though there are some advantages. But the biggest con with an LLC is it is expensive. It's gonna cost you around $180 all the way up to $800 depending on what state you live in as a minimum. And for me, being in California, it's $800 per year, even if my LLC makes zero money. And as I start to make more money, the price of having an LLC increases. If you do live overseas and you're looking to start an LLC in the United States, I recommend going with wyregisteredagent.com. It's only going to cost you around $149. But if you want to save some money on taxes, you should look at an S Corp. And this stands for Small Business Corporation. Now, the pro of this is you're actually going to save money on taxes because you can pay yourself a salary. And if you have any extra profits in your business on top of that, you can take it out as a shareholder distribution. And for that, you're not gonna have to pay Social Security or Medicare taxes on that, which means you're gonna save money on taxes. However, for cons, there's a lot of extra requirements, a lot of paperwork, a lot of things that you have to submit to the government if you do wanna have a S Corp. But there is a secret fourth option that almost no one talks about, and this is what you should probably do. And that is start an LLC, but elect to be taxed as an S Corp. And when you're filing your LLC paperwork, there's a little box that you can check and you'll get taxed as an S Corp, but it makes it a lot easier because you don't have to deal with all the paperwork. And this is what I did for Carnivore Electrolytes. Now, in all honesty, since I already had an LLC for my company, Passion Product LLC, I just used that LLC. I didn't need to start a new LLC. And that's a pro tip. You don't need to start a new LLC every time you start a new business. You can have an umbrella LLC and you can have little sub businesses under there and you still have a lot of the legal protection. And in my online program, the Passion Product Formula, I actually show in depth a screen recording showing you how you can get an LLC and make sure that it's taxed as an S Corp. So if you are looking to start your own online business and you want to get on the wait list for this program, there is a link down below. The next step is to get an EIN. And to do this, all you have to do is go to the irs.gov website. There's a link down below in the description with the full website URL, and follow these step-by-step instructions to apply for your free EIN number. It's simple and easy to do. It only takes around 10 to 15 minutes, and at the end, you'll get a PDF with your EIN number. Step 3 is to get a seller's permit, and this is also free and easy to do. Just Google your state name, for instance, I live in California, and then space seller's permit, and go to the official .gov website and apply for your seller's permit. This will be free, so if anyone's trying to charge you money for this, it's a scam. Do not pay money to apply for your seller's permit. You're gonna need a seller's permit in your state for a few different reasons. The first is it allows you to buy goods tax-free, because the government knows that you're buying those goods in order to resell them. For instance, with Carnivore Electrolytes, the packaging and all the ingredients, I don't have to pay sales tax on that because I have a seller's permit and they know that I'm going to be reselling this product to my customers. The other reason why you need a seller's permit is because the government's going to want its money and you're going to use your seller's permit number in order to file state sales tax. Now, if you're selling your product online, you only need to collect state sales tax from people that are buying your product that live in the same state as you. So if I live in California and someone from New York buys my product, I don't need to collect state sales tax from them and I don't need to remit that to my state. Though I'm not a lawyer and I'm sure it's more complicated than this, but from what I understand, you only have to collect state sales tax in the state that you or your business resides. So if you're a big company and you have lots of different locations, you're going to have to collect state sales tax in every location that you actually have a physical building. The next step, step 4, is to open up a business bank account. And this is extremely easy if you live in the United States. All you have to do is take all your paperwork from step 1, 2, and 3 and go into your local bank. I usually go with US Bank when I'm opening up new business accounts. And when I was first starting online businesses, I actually would go in person to my bank to open up the account, and the person working at the bank would walk me through step by step how to do it. But nowadays, I open up business bank accounts online. It's the same exact process that you're gonna go through at the bank, but it's easier and quicker because you can do it from the comfort of your own home. If you're not in the United States and you're looking to open up a business bank account, you can always go with websites like Payoneer or World First Bank. But warning, it is important that you keep your personal and your business spending separate. As I mentioned, it's a red flag for the IRS if they see that you're buying personal things with your business bank account, but also if you have an LLC and you get sued and the judge sees that you're using the LLC to buy personal things, it could mean that whoever's suing you could come after your personal assets as well. So be very careful. On top of that, it's important to keep these separate so that you can see how much profit is your business actually making. Now it's time for step 5, which is the best part, my favorite part of starting a new business. And this is the part of the video that's gonna get you free flights, free hotel stays. Basically make it so you don't have to pay any money out of your own pocket to travel the world, because if you understand how to use credit cards properly, you won't have to pay any money to the credit card company. When you sign up for a new credit card, they have bonuses, 50,000, 100,000 miles or points that you can get. Now, a lot of times these credit cards will have a minimum spend of around $3,000. And let me tell you, when you're starting a new online business, spending $3,000 within 3 months is relatively easy. So I highly recommend signing up for a business credit card. The Amex Gold, the Capital One Venture Card, and there's a Chase Ink card. And all 3 of these I recommend, link down below. If you're looking to spend a lot of money on advertising, you're gonna wanna go with the Amex Gold card because it'll give you 5x points on all advertising spend. Plus, there is a bunch of other bonuses for the Amex Gold card. It does have a yearly fee of a little over $100, but let me tell you, it's worth it. You're gonna get so much money in points back, and I think they have a sign-up bonus of around 50,000 to 100,000 points. If you want to find out more information about that, there is a link down below. The Capital One Venture Card, on the other hand, will give you 2x points on every dollar that you spend. And there's no fee for the first year, but every year after that, there is a fee of $95. But again, the points are so valuable that you're gonna be getting that paying $95 a year, it doesn't really matter. For Carnivore Electrolytes, we've put everything on the credit card. We've spent around $5,000 to start this business. And when you include the bonuses we got for signing up for the credit card, that's enough miles for a round trip ticket to South America, to Europe, to Asia, to about anywhere in the world that we want to go. But there are a couple other legal things that you're going to want to think about, like do you want to get a trademark or do you want to get a patent? And these things can provide you with an extra level of legal protection to make sure that no one's going to copy your business or come in and steal your customers. And let's talk about the differences between a trademark and a patent, and if you should get both or which one is right for you. Let's start by talking about a patent. And there are 2 main types of a patent. There is a utility patent and there is a design patent. And the utility patent is only for someone that invents something new, and it has to be relatively unique. However, a utility patent can be pretty expensive to get. There's the patent search fee, which is going to cost you $540. There's also the examination fee, which is going to be another $220, as well as the application filing fee, which is $330. And on top of that, you'll probably want to get a lawyer, and that's going to cost you around $10,000. Now, you can do this work yourself. Jeremy, who's one of the students in my online course where I teach people how to create unique physical products that they can sell online, he was able to file his own utility patent. He did say that it took a lot of work, and if he were to do it over again, he might actually be willing to spend the money on a patent lawyer. So you don't need to hire a patent lawyer, but most people that I've spoke to end up hiring that lawyer. If you have a unique idea or invention, I would say at a minimum, file for a provisional patent. It's only $75. It's very easy to do. And then later, if you decide that you want to move forward with this product, you can file for a full utility patent. The other option is to get a design patent. And you can get a design patent if your product has a unique design to it. For example, the signature Coca-Cola bottle, because there's nothing from a utility standpoint that's unique about it. However, from a design standpoint, it's something that's unique to that brand. And when you see it, you know that it's a Coca-Cola bottle. A design patent protects the form of the product, and it's easier to get a design patent than it is a utility patent, but it doesn't offer as much legal protection. And for carnivore electrolytes, we did not apply for a patent because this isn't a brand new invention. There are other electrolyte powders out there. The only thing that makes our product unique is the design itself. And that's where trademarks come in. And a trademark allows you to either protect the graphical design, for instance, if you have a special logo, a special font, something like that that's unique to your brand, or you can actually protect the words themselves. For instance, Coca-Cola has a word trademark, and that means that nobody else can use the words Coca-Cola, no matter what font or design they're using. And out of these two options, it's a lot easier to get a design mark than it is to get a word mark. So if you're filing for a trademark because you want to get brand registry when selling on Amazon, I would generally go with a design mark. However, if you're looking for more protection for your brand, I would go with a word mark. But keep in mind, when applying for a word mark, it's a lot harder, and when the person's reviewing your application, they're going to be a lot more strict. For both these options, you will not be approved if there's another business out there that has a similar design or word mark. Once you have your business set up legally, the next step is for you to get your own Amazon seller account. And I'm going to share with you step-by-step how to do that. But before I get into that, I do want to let you know that I have step-by-step walkthroughs of every single aspect of setting up your business legally in my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Product Formula. There is a link to that down below in the description. I show you step-by-step real examples of how I've set up businesses. But now let's talk about how to create your own seller account. And pay attention here because I'm going to share with you some secret details that'll guarantee that your application doesn't get rejected by Amazon. A lot of beginners make mistakes when signing up for a seller account, which ends up leading to them getting rejected from having a seller account and sometimes even permanently banned. So pay attention to this next section. The first step to starting your Amazon seller account is to go to sell.amazon.com and you're going to click on the sign up button. But warning, be careful because there's actually two different ways that you can sell on Amazon. You can sell with the professional plan, but that's going to cost you $39.99 a month. Or you can sign up with the individual seller account, which is free to sign up for. And to get there, you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and click on this button that says sign up to become an individual seller. They kind of hide this feature, and this is a good hack to save a lot of money, especially if you're just starting out on Amazon. And the truth is you can always upgrade your account from an individual seller to the professional plan later on. But the problem with the individual seller account is you have to pay an extra 99 cents for every product that you sell on Amazon. So if you plan on selling 40 or more items, I recommend going with the professional plan up here. Plus, the professional plan comes with a lot of other features that we're going to talk about later in this video. I actually chose the professional selling plan for my brand new product, carnivore electrolytes. And I recommend to most of my students to sign up for the professional plan when they're creating their Amazon seller account. And the good thing is Amazon's only going to charge you for the first month that you sign up, and they're not going to charge you again until you actually start selling products on Amazon. and you want to make sure that you sign up for your Amazon seller account a few months before you actually plan to start selling on Amazon, because sometimes there's delays in getting your account approved, and you want to make sure that when you're ready to start selling, your account is fully approved. Now, a huge warning, there's 5 mistakes that people commonly make when signing up for their Amazon seller account that ends up leading to them getting banned from being able to sell on Amazon and makes it so their Amazon seller application gets denied. And I'll be sharing all 5 of those common mistakes in this video. And the first mistake that people make is when they click on the sign up button is they create a new Amazon account even though they have an old Amazon seller account. Amazon will see this and say, wait a minute, are you trying to start a second seller account?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
And that is not always allowed. There are situations where it's okay to have more than one seller account, but I always recommend, if you already have a seller account, to contact Amazon from that seller account and ask for permission to start a new seller account. If you already have a personal account with Amazon, you can log in. Or if you're creating a new account because you want to keep your personal and your business account separate, you can click on the Create Your Amazon Account button. You're then going to put in your name. You're also going to put in your business email. And this is the second mistake that people make. I recommend when signing up for your Amazon account to use a real business email at your domain name. I would personally avoid using a Yahoo or a Gmail. For Carnivore Electrolytes, we did use this email to sign up, and our account did eventually get approved, but we did make a huge mistake that almost got us banned, blacklisted, denied from being able to sell on Amazon before we ever got started. So pay attention, because this mistake could have cost us the entire business before we even started. After that, you're going to put in a secure password and you're going to click next. And now you're ready to start your Amazon seller application. Amazon will tell you everything that you need to have ready, and you're going to scroll down and you're going to click begin. And the next question Amazon's going to ask you is, where is your business location? And you can sell on Amazon US no matter which country you live in. I'd say about 50% of all my Amazon students are international, but in this case, we are located in the United States. Amazon will then ask you, what is your entity type for your business? And there are a few different options here. The most common answer to this question is either privately owned business or none, I'm an individual seller. So if you have an LLC, DBA, or an S Corp, you're going to click privately owned business. On the other hand, if you are just an individual seller using your social security number, you're going to put none, I'm an individual seller. And if you are outside the United States and you're looking to sell inside the United States, I recommend opening up an LLC using a website like wyregisteredagent.com. And before we go to the next step, I do want to explain the difference between a DBA, an LLC, and an S Corp, and explain to you which one you should choose. If you're looking for the most affordable option, I'd recommend going with a DBA, which stands for Doing Business As. This is going to cost you around $99, and you can file with LegalZoom or other websites that I'll list down below. This will allow you to open up a business bank account and a business credit card using a business name. It'll also allow you to get an EIN, which stands for Employer Identification Number. And this is basically like a social security number for your business. And you need this number when opening up a bank account, a seller account, a credit card, or any new financial account for your business. On the other hand, LLC stands for Limited Liability Company, and this offers you a lot more protection. It makes it so that if someone sues your business, your LLC, they can't come after your personal assets. It basically separates you and your business. With the DBA, on the other hand, if someone sues your business, they can come after your personal assets. There's no legal protection between you and your business. But the problem with an LLC is it is a little bit more expensive. It's going to cost at least $150 just to register for an LLC, plus another $150 in fees to the state that you file. But this does depend on what state you live in. For instance, in California, it's going to cost you around $250 just to file, plus every year you have to spend another $800 in LLC fees on top of that, even if your business doesn't make any money. The last business entity type that you may want to consider is an S Corp. And an S Corp has some tax advantages, but it has a lot of cons, and I generally don't recommend creating an S Corp. I recommend either doing a DBA or an LLC. And if you do create an LLC for your Amazon business, you can elect to file taxes as an S Corp, which is going to save you a ton of money on taxes. And this is exactly what we did with Carnivore Electrolytes. We set up an LLC, but we chose the option to be taxed as an S Corp. This is a great way to save a lot of money. You're going to avoid a lot of taxes, and you still get all the legal protection of using an LLC. And we wanted to make sure for Carnivore Electrolytes that we created an LLC just in case anyone ever got sick or there was some kind of an issue with our product. I wanted to make sure that there'd be a separation between the business and my personal assets. Now, we don't ever foresee this happening because Carnivore Electrolytes is manufactured in the United States. It's manufactured in a GMP certified facility and it's incredibly safe. But just to make sure and just to have that separation, we did set it up as an LLC because it is a consumable product. If you are opening a business where there's a very low likelihood that someone's going to want to sue you, you can always do a DBA to save a little bit of money. And for this example, we're going to click on privately owned business. You're then going to put in the business name as it appears on the documents. And click on I confirm that my business location type are correct. We're going to scroll down and click on agree and continue. You'll then put in your company registration number and you're going to get this once you apply for your LLC or your DBA. You'll also fill out your registered business address, and this is wherever your business is registered, and you're going to put a phone number that they can use to verify that you are a real person. After that, you're going to put some information about you or whoever the primary contact person is for this business. Generally speaking, it's going to be you. And you'll put your country of citizenship and your country of birth as well as your date of birth. And you're going to scroll down and they're going to ask you how you want to prove your identity. And if you have a passport, I recommend going with a passport. If you do not, you can always use a driver's license. You'll then select the country where your document was issued, and they're going to ask for your passport number and the date of expiration. They'll also ask for your residential address, and you'll fill out this information right here. And if you're the one that owns this business, you're going to click on confirm if primary contact person is the beneficial owner of the business. If you're opening a business for a different person, you'll select this other option down below. If you've added all the business owners, you'll go ahead and click yes. If you've not added all the business owners, click no, and Amazon will ask for some more information about all the business owners. You'll then check on this box and click the next button. For the next section, you're going to need a valid bank account number as well as a valid credit card. And this is the third most common mistake that gets people denied from being able to sell on Amazon and sometimes even banned. If you try to use a debit card or a prepaid credit card, oftentimes Amazon will not accept that and they will ban you and they're not going to really tell you why. So make sure that you have a valid credit card. Well, then click continue. You're then going to add a bank account and it's going to ask you whose name is on the bank account. Is it your personal name or is it the business name? If you do have a business bank account and the business name is the same name as your LLC, you'll click on that button. But if the bank account is in your personal name, you'll click on your personal name. And I did do an in-depth video showing how I set up the LLC, the EIN number, and all the legal paperwork with starting this business. But then you're going to select which bank is your financial institution associated with. For Carnivore Electrolytes, we ended up going with US Bank, which is a bank that I've used to open up a lot of my business bank accounts. Though if I had to do it over again, I probably would pick a different bank. If you're not in the US or you're traveling, you can always open up a bank account with Payoneer or World First Bank. You're then going to put in your routing number as well as your bank account number. And if you have any checks, the routing number is going to be the first 9-digit number, and then the bank account number will be the second number on the check. You'll then scroll down and click on Verify Bank Account. You're then going to put in your credit card information for your monthly subscription fee. And as a reminder, they're only going to charge you this once, and they're not going to charge you it again until you start actively selling on Amazon. So you'll scroll down and you'll put in your credit card number, the expiration date, and the card holder's name. You're then going to scroll down and click next. At this point, you're going to put your store's name, and your store name can be whatever you want it to be. I recommend having it be the same as your LLC, but it doesn't need to be. If you want it to instead be the same name as your product, that's okay as well. In this case, our store name is going to be Passion Products Unlimited. And this is the name that people are going to see on Amazon when they buy our product or they come to our store. Amazon's then going to ask you, do you have universal product codes? And a UPC code is the barcode that's on just about every single product in the world. When you go to Walmart or you go to a store and they scan that barcode, that is the UPC code. But if you are selling your own unique passion product, which is what I recommend you do and how I've been able to do over $5 million on Amazon, then you will need your own unique UPC code, which is very inexpensive. It's only around $30. And keep in mind, no matter what product you're selling on Amazon, whether it's private label or wholesale or retail arbitrage, there needs to be a UPC code with that product. Now, if you are doing retail arbitrage or wholesale, the UPC code will already be on the product. But as I've mentioned, creating a passion product is the way that I recommend to actually make money selling on Amazon. And I go step by step in depth and I talk about exactly how you can create your own passion product in my Amazon FBA program. If you want more information about that, there is a link down below to the waitlist where you can find out more information and get on the wait list for the next time that I open it up. And right now, and with this series, my hope is to prove how easy it is to create your own unique product. And you can go to gs1.org and click on Get Your Barcodes to buy barcodes. And you can buy one single barcode for as cheap as $30. For Carnivore Electrolytes, we bought our own UPC code using GS1, so I am going to select yes. It's then going to ask you if you have any diversity certifications for your business. And if you are minority, women, veteran, or LGBT-owned business, I recommend applying for one of these diversity certifications. Having one of these certifications will mean that your product will be highlighted and shown when customers select to shop from diverse or smaller companies. Amazon does sometimes highlight companies with these certifications in the search results as well. However, in this case, we do not have any of these certifications, so I'm going to select no. The last question is, are you the manufacturer or brand owner for any of the products you want to sell on Amazon? And we are the brand owner. Even though we're not the ones actually manufacturing it, we own the brand. So in Amazon's eyes, we're going to select yes for this answer. Another question that they'll ask is, do you own a government registered trademark for the branded products that we're going to sell on Amazon? And we do. We did apply and received a trademark for this product, so I'm going to select yes. And I'm going to talk about how we applied for that trademark in a later video in this series, so make sure you subscribe to get that video. But then we're going to click on the next button, and it's going to take us to the final screen where we're going to verify all our information. And as we scroll down, it's going to ask us to upload our passport. You can take a high quality photo or do a scan of your passport and upload it here. It's also going to ask us for proof of our address. And there's a few different ways to do this. You can do a bank account statement or a credit card statement. You can print that off as a PDF and upload that document here as well. You're then going to select next, and this leads us to the fourth mistake that people make when applying for the Amazon seller account. And that's not being patient. Sometimes it does take a little bit of time for Amazon to approve your account. Pay attention when you're filling out these details. This is where I almost made a huge mistake, where Amazon was very skeptical and they didn't want me to actually move forward. They were stopping me, and I made the mistake of putting the wrong birthday in this field, and it was different from what's on my official documents. And so I got a call from Amazon. And when you are applying for a seller account, they oftentimes are going to do a call with you, especially if they're a little bit unsure about some of your information. And they told me right away that I could not record this call, even though I really wanted to. So I made sure and took exact notes of exactly what the person was saying. And I want to show you a dramatic reenactment of how that call worked. But before I reveal the fifth most common mistake and show you that call with Amazon so that you can be prepared and ready to go, let me quickly show you some of the pros and cons of the individual versus the professional selling plan. So as I mentioned, with the professional selling plan, there is a $39.99 a month fee. However, as I also said, there's a 99-cent fee per item that you sell if you do the individual plan. That's why, again, if you're going to sell 40 or more items, just go with the professional plan. Because on top of that, the professional plan comes with all these other features that we're going to go over. For instance, if you have the professional plan, you can manage inventory using spreadsheets and reports, which makes it so that if you're uploading a lot of items, it's going to make it a lot easier. There's also some other advantages to being able to manage inventory using spreadsheets. For instance, you have a lot more control when you're uploading your item using a spreadsheet, and it makes it easier to change certain things. You're also able to manage orders using the orders reports and order related feeds if you have a professional plan. If you have the professional plan, you can also set your own shipping rates for your products. And this is really helpful if when someone buys a product on Amazon, you're going to be the one shipping it out. Now, this is called FBM, which stands for Fulfilled by Merchant. And it's one of the two different ways that you can sell on the Amazon platform. The other way that you can sell on the Amazon platform is called FBA, which stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. And FBA allows you to send all the products that you want to sell into the Amazon warehouse. And whenever you get a sale on Amazon, Amazon's going to pick, pack, and do all the shipping for you. If you enroll in the FBA program, it's also going to make it so that all the products that you send into the warehouse are Prime eligible. Meaning when people are scrolling on Amazon and they see your product, they're going to know that if they buy it, they're going to be able to receive it in just 2 days. And people are much more likely to buy Prime eligible products. So I generally recommend using the FBA program, but if you are going to be using the FBM program, that's another reason why you might want a professional seller account, is so that you can change the shipping rates. You also get access to promotions and gift services. This allows you to sell your products at a discount and do special offers that are going to lead to you getting more sales. And there's a bunch of other things that you get with the professional selling account that you just don't get with the individual seller account. But the fifth most common reason why people get banned from selling on Amazon is as soon as they get approved, they go in and they change their credit card details. They change their bank account details. And this is a red flag to Amazon because Amazon's assuming that you're trying to trick the system. So do not change your credit card or bank details for at least a couple months after your account has been approved. Now, once you've confirmed your identification and submitted your application, you'll get a notice that says, "Thank you for sharing your information." And this is where you'll need patience. Your account is on the way to being approved, but there is a chance that Amazon's going to tell you that you need to schedule a call. And you need to be prepared. So as promised, here is a recreation of how my call went. And hopefully, if you get a call with Amazon, your Amazon representative will look exactly like this. Hello, how's it going? Hi, sir. Hello, how are you? My name is April, and I'm going to be taking care of the process for you. And first off, you're not allowed to record video or take photos of this process. The second thing is I need to confirm that you are the owner of the passport. Yes, I am. Amazing. Can I see it? Can you see what? Sorry, can you say it again? I need to see the passport. Okay, yeah. Okay, now the front and the back of the passport. The front, the back. Okay, amazing. So I have your file ready on my computer right now. Please stay and hold for a couple minutes while I check on everything and make sure. I'll be right back, okay? Sounds good. Okay, so I read the document that you provided and I did find an issue. The date that you provided was different than the date that's on your passport. Oh, I see. It should be November 4th. Yeah, and I see that in the passport it is November 4th. Yeah, it should be November 4th, 1988. Yeah, so you need to change it in our system because this is different than what we have in our system. Okay, how do I change it? Open a new tab with Amazon Seller Central. Let me know when you're there. It's taking a minute. Yeah, I'm here. So yeah, can you just change it there, please? You can go to the end of the page and click next and just change the date of when you were born, please, sir. Okay, that's really weird. Let me just make sure the date of expiration is also the same. Yeah, okay, everything is fine. Just let me know when you change it, sir. So yeah, I have confirmed that I have changed it, but I need to wait a little bit longer and I need to confirm all the final details. This could take up to 48 hours for you to get approved if you are approved. So your approval is still pending verification. Is there anything else I can help you with? Do you have any questions or something? Okay, so everything will be good. It's gonna be approved in 48 hours? I don't know the answer to that, but there is another answer if you do get approved, sir. But as of right now, you are not approved. Oh, okay, perfect, but just so I know, what would get in the way of it being approved? In some cases, because of the documents, you may not be approved, but they will check everything and they will give you a response. Okay. All right, thank you so much for joining, and I will send you another email to tell you that the internet verification has been completed. Okay, thanks, take care, bye. Actually, sir, can I just see the passport just one more time, sir? Yeah, you can see it again. Here it is. Okay, yes, okay, thank you, sir. Now that your seller account is set up, it's time for us to find a manufacturer that's going to create the product that you want to sell on Amazon. And I know a lot of you guys probably have questions at this point, and you can leave any questions you have down below in the comments. But in my Amazon FBA program, we have over 200 plus of the most frequently asked questions with answers, and we have weekly Q&A calls. So anytime you have a question, you can jump on and ask either myself or one of the coaches that are part of my team. You can ask them whatever question you have. Plus on top of that, we have a Facebook mastermind group. So at any point you can ask a question and we're gonna get you an answer to whatever your question is. But that being said, I'll do my best to answer your questions that you leave in the comments down below. But if you want more in-depth answers, I highly recommend joining my Amazon FBA program. But now let me show you step by step how I found a manufacturer for this product. There's 3 most common ways that people use to find a manufacturer for a product when they're going to sell it on Amazon. The first is to go to websites like Alibaba.com. And with Alibaba.com, there's hundreds of thousands of manufacturers and suppliers. And if you're looking to find a manufacturer overseas, this is the best website to do it. And I'm gonna show you step by step how you can actually find your own supplier or manufacturer. The next most common way to find a manufacturer is to go to Google.com and just type in whatever you're looking to find a manufacturer for, space manufacturer. And you can see that there's hundreds of different companies here that will manufacture a product for you. I'll show you how to go through this, how to find a good manufacturer, and how to make sure you're getting the best price later in this video. But the third most common way that people use to find a manufacturer is to use thomasnet.com. And if you're looking to get a product manufactured in the United States, this is a huge directory of tens, if not hundreds of thousands of different manufacturers right here in the United States that can make your product for you. And I'll also show you how to use this later in this video. And now let me show you how I found my manufacturer and how you can find your own manufacturer for a product you're going to sell on Amazon. And Alibaba.com is the #1 place I recommend if you're creating a product to sell online. You probably want to get it manufactured overseas, and this is the #1 directory for Chinese manufacturers and overseas manufacturers. And it's very simple to do. All you have to do is click on manufacturers and then type in what type of a product you're looking to make. So we're going to type in electrolyte powders. And you can see that there are hundreds of different manufacturers that can make the exact product we're looking to make. Now, just to be clear, if you are making a consumable product, I don't recommend making it overseas. So we didn't use Alibaba.com, but for most other types of products, I recommend using this website. And let me show you how to use Alibaba.com. The first thing is you're gonna always wanna make sure you work with a verified supplier. And to do that, you can click right here. And a verified supplier means that Alibaba has actually sent an inspector to their warehouse, their manufacturing facility, and verified that they're a legitimate business. The other thing you're going to want to do is click on trade assurance. This makes it so that Alibaba guarantees that when you send money to your manufacturer, you're going to get the products that you want. So now we have a list of different manufacturers that have trade assurance and are verified suppliers. Now there's not a lot of manufacturers for electrolyte powder overseas because, as I mentioned, most people that are making supplements are not going to do it overseas. So instead, let's use an example like flashcards. And I started an Amazon business with AJ called Cocktail Cards, and in our first year we did over $500,000 in sales, and we did find our manufacturer using Alibaba.com. And you can see here there are a ton of companies. So as I mentioned, the first thing I'm going to do is click on trade assurance, as well as click on verified supplier. And you can see there still is a bunch of companies left after doing that because paper products is something that a lot of people do buy overseas. So the next thing we're gonna look at here is how long has this company been in business? This has been 10 years. This company's been in business for 7 years, 9 years. And that's one of the things that I like to look for is that I wanna work with a company that has been around for a little while. Another thing that you can look at is how many people they have on staff. And depending on what kind of business you're starting, you may want to work with a really big company, or if you're newer and you want to work with a smaller company, you can find a smaller company to work with. We can also see how much money in sales they've done through Alibaba, over $2 million, over 2.7, over $500,000. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is smaller businesses sometimes might be more willing to work with you if you're a new business. They may have smaller MOQs, also known as minimum order quantity. This is how much you need to order from a manufacturer before they will work with you. And typical minimum order quantities depend on the product. For instance, with cocktail cards, they said that at a minimum, we'd have to order 500 units. Now, let's say that we find a manufacturer that we like. We're gonna click on the manufacturer. We're gonna review everything here. We can look at the reviews. We can see that this is a 4.9 out of 5-star review, which is pretty good. And we can chat now with them, or we can send an inquiry. And if I wanted to start working with them, I'd send them a message and say, I'm looking to create a product with 100 flashcards. I want it to be about 4 by 6 inches for each flashcard. I'm gonna need a box, and maybe even show them an example of a box that you want your cards to look like. And then give them a little bit of details. You don't need to tell them exactly what's gonna be on the flashcards, but you can ask them, how much is this gonna cost? What is the minimum order quantity? And I actually recommend you saying something to the effect of, we're looking to do a production run of around 10,000 units, but we wanna do a test run first. What is your minimum order quantity? And what is your pricing if we order 500 units, 2,000 units, and 10,000 units? Always show them that you're interested in buying more units in the future. And keep in mind, a lot of these manufacturers, even though they show products that they sell, they will allow you to customize the product. And for cocktail cards, we told them we want to have our own designs. And they're like, yeah, of course we can do that. So what I recommend you do is go through and contact as many manufacturers as you can. You can also do an RFQ, and this is a request for quotation. And this is where you fill in what your sourcing requirements are, you would say something like 100 flash cards, 4x6, what the box dimensions would be, everything like that. And then you click Get Quotes Now, and all the manufacturers will send messages to you. I recommend doing both, the RFQ and going through this list and contacting as many manufacturers individually as possible. And then you can create a spreadsheet and put all the different manufacturers' names, as well as what their minimum order quantity is, what their pricing is at the 500 tier, the 2,000 tier, the 10,000 tier, or whatever numbers that you're interested in getting. And then before you actually commit to a manufacturer, you can look through this list and see who is the person that you most want to work with. Now, I do have a spreadsheet template that you can use, as well as a complete checklist that includes everything that you should make sure that your manufacturer has before you commit to them. All of that is in my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Products Formula. There is a link down below if you're interested in joining that. And some of the things that are on the checklist and some things that you should be thinking about when you're looking to work with a manufacturer is you should ask them, what is their lead time? And the lead time is how long it takes them from when you place an order until you actually receive your order. And warning, this is really important. Right now with Carnivore Electrolytes, the product that I'm launching in just 7 days, the lead time has been insanely long, and they told us it would be one thing, and it's actually ended up being longer, which means that we've had to delay the launch of our Amazon FBA product. Another thing that you want to look for when working with the manufacturers, do you enjoy having conversations with them? Do you have a good relationship? Because if they're taking a long time to respond right now, that's not going to get better. The response time should be the shortest before you ever pay them any money, because as soon as you put in a deposit, they have your money and there's not as much of incentive for them to win you over. It's the same thing with dating. If someone's acting crazy on their first, second, or third date, you might want to avoid them because they're only going to get crazier. There are a bunch of other things on the checklist as well, like willingness to sign an NNN. And an NNN stands for non-compete, non-disclosure, and non-circumvent. And this is a way for you to protect the privacy of your product, to make sure that they won't copy your product. And that is something to be aware of. Sometimes these Chinese manufacturers will copy your product. And that's one of the other reasons why we did not go with Alibaba.com for creating this product. The next most common way that people work with manufacturers is using Google. And look I typed in electrolyte powder. And for those that don't know, Carnivore Electrolytes is going to be an electrolyte powder specifically targeted towards people that are on the carnivore diet. And when I type in electrolyte powder manufacturer, we see a ton of different options here. And let's open some of these up. Let's take a look. And look, this one's even private label Santa Monica. I live in Santa Monica, and I would love to find a manufacturer close to me. And that is something to keep in mind. When you're first working with a manufacturer, if you can find someone in the same city as you, even if they're a little bit more expensive, it's gonna make your life so much easier. Now keep in mind, these first couple listings are sponsored, meaning people are paying for them. So we're gonna wanna look at some other ones. And look, Alibaba's even on this list here, Vital Packs. And let's just look at the first one here, powder manufacturers, flavors and formulas infinite, fastest turnaround. So they're telling you right now what the lead time is, but they're saying the fastest turnaround is 4 weeks. Minimum order, call us, get a quote. And all I would recommend doing is giving them a call and actually having a conversation. And here's a huge tip. When you are looking for a manufacturer, especially in the United States, sure, feel free to send emails, but the best way to actually develop a relationship is to get on the phone. And a lot of these manufacturers are old school. They don't use email. They don't even have websites, a lot of them. Or if they do have websites, they're really old school. And we'll talk about how to find those old school manufacturing companies that are going to be even a little bit cheaper in just a second. That's thomasnet.com is one of the ways that I recommend doing it. But let's look at a couple more of these websites. Health, wellness, and supplement manufacturing. Again, they're really pushing for you to give them a call. We can click on get a free quote. You can put your information in here, but I don't recommend just sending out emails and sitting there twiddling your thumbs waiting. I recommend getting on the phone, getting a hold of these people. And that's actually how I found my first manufacturer ever. I made a list of all the manufacturers of nut butters, because my first product that did over $1 million in sales on Amazon was a nut butter brand. And I couldn't find any manufacturer that would want to make this product, because I made a product that was macadamia, coconut, and cashew, blended it up, put it into individual serve pouches. No one was willing to work with me. And so what I did is I called every single company I could think of. And I called one company and I said, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. And they said, sorry, we can't help you. And what I always recommend you doing when you get that response is ask them, do you know anyone that might be able to help you? And I found someone that said, yeah, you know what? One of our competitors actually does exactly what you're looking for. And it's surprising how nice people are. So I recommend getting them on the phone, tell them your story, tell them your idea, tell them how excited you are for this business, and let them buy in, let them be excited as well. And then if you ask them, hey, can you help me? And actually the manufacturer that I ended up going with at first told me no. They said, no, I can't help you. But I called them back a week later and I explained like, look, I've been trying everywhere. What's it gonna take for us to work together? They ended up saying, you know what? Let's do it, because they liked me and they were excited to work with me. So we have a bunch of other manufacturers here, and you can see that you can even hire people to formulate your recipe. $5,000 is way too much. I ended up spending a lot less than that to formulate my recipe. And just in case you're curious, the way that we formulated my recipe is I told the manufacturer, hey, these are the ingredients I want. I found a product that was relatively similar and said, I want it to be like this, but I want to add a little bit more of this, a little bit less of this, and they just made it for me. It wasn't complicated. You don't need a degree. You don't need to spend $5,000. Just contact your manufacturer, tell them what you want, and they will help work with you. So we can see already we've found a number of different manufacturers, but this is actually not the way that I use to find my manufacturer. The true answer on how I found my manufacturer was I knew someone that had joined my Amazon FBA program. His name is Mina, and he launched a electrolyte powder brand, and his business was doing over $100,000 a month. He started with $1,500. In his first year, he did over $200,000. And the last time I checked in with him, he was doing over $100,000 per month. And I told him about this idea of launching this new brand, Carnivore Electrolytes, and he said, buddy, I got you. And he set me up with his manufacturer, which I don't have listed here as a way to find a manufacturer, but that's actually the real answer, and the biggest and one of the best ways that I now find manufacturers is through my network. Now I understand you might not have a network, you might not know people that have started a bunch of Amazon businesses, but I have, and I'm willing to help you to find your manufacturer. In fact, if you join my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Products Formula, again, link down below, I have a huge list of a bunch of manufacturers that I have personally worked with, as well as we've had students that have added vendors and manufacturers that they've worked with on this list. And when you join my Amazon FBA program, there is a Facebook group where you can go in and you can ask questions, and you can ask people, hey, has anyone found a manufacturer for this kind of a product? And everyone is so nice in the group. Everyone is willing to help you because they know that if they help you, you're likely to help them later in the future. In fact, a lot of people will join the program just to promote their product in the Facebook group. And what ends up happening is when you go to launch your product on Amazon, all the people that are part of this group are going to buy your product. They're going to leave 5-star reviews. Obviously, they're hoping you'll do the same for them. But when you're part of this program and you're part of this family, your first couple sales are going to come from us because we understand how important it is. And thomasnut.com works very similar to Alibaba.com, where you type in what you're looking for. If we go in here and we type in electrolytes and we click search, we can see a ton of different categories come up. Electrolyte beverages, that's something that's interesting. Let's open that in a new tab. And we can view all electrolyte categories here. Now, a lot of these don't apply. It's like battery acid. Electrolyte beverage enhancers is actually probably the best one. And there is only one supplier, but what we can do is we can see that they're in San Diego, which is really close by. They've done between $1 and $4.9 million. They've been open since 2016, so they've been open a while, and it's a small business, which means that likely they're willing to work with us. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna click on this manufacturer and we're gonna read a little bit about them. We're gonna look at their business details. You can even look up here and look at their certifications. We can get some more information. And if we like what we see, we can either call the supplier or visit their website to get even more information. But I understand that sometimes it's a little bit harder to find a manufacturer. And I wanna share with you 4 different tips I have that if you're struggling to find a manufacturer that you can use to find your own manufacturer. And after I show you the 4 ways that you can find a manufacturer, I'll share with you how you can get your product shipped from your manufacturer into the Amazon FBA warehouse. And this is true whether your product's overseas or whether it's in the United States. I'll talk about both those different ways and how you can do it, as well as something a lot of people don't think about is how you can get your product inspected. Because let's say you're producing your product overseas in China, you buy thousands of dollars worth of products, you don't want it to get shipped into the United States and then it ends up that your product's crap. You can hire an inspector for around like $100 and they'll make sure that you have a quality product before it gets shipped out. And if not, your manufacturer will have to fix it. But first, let me share with you 4 more ways that you can find a manufacturer for your Amazon FBA product. Here's a secret. You can actually use a tool in Jungle Scout to find who is the manufacturer for almost any product on Amazon. You'll just go to suppliers here and then to the supplier database. Click on the company tab and type in the company that you're trying to figure out who their manufacturer is. So if I type in yoga mat into Amazon, I see a bunch of different yoga mat companies. One of them is this Gaiam company right here. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it into the Jungle Scout tool right here. And we're gonna click search. And you can see this company listed and you can see who their top suppliers are. So if you have competitors in your market and you wanna figure out who they're using as manufacturers, this is an absolutely amazing tool. And I do have the hookup with Jungle Scout. There's a link in the description down below, as well as a discount. So if you are gonna sign up with Jungle Scout, I highly recommend using the discounted link in the description down below. But you can even, if you want to, search by ASIN. So instead of searching by company right here, we could take the ASIN number, which if we scroll down to the bottom, we can see the ASIN number and we can copy this and we can paste it in here. And you can find, like I said, the manufacturer for just about any product on Amazon. Now, this tool isn't always 100% accurate, but it's very surprising how often it is accurate. Another way I highly recommend to finding manufacturers is to type into Google whatever your product is, space conventions. Go to the website of the convention that is in your industry, and you can look at who are exhibiting. And you can either go to this convention yourself, walk around the convention and talk to everybody, or you can go to the list of people that are exhibiting at the convention. For instance, we see here, this is the 2023 exhibitor list, and there's a growing list right here. And you can contact each one of those people individually. Oftentimes at these kind of conventions, it's going to be suppliers and manufacturers. Now, I know a lot of people are not based in the United States. Maybe, for instance, if you're based in the UK or in Europe and you're looking for a manufacturer that's based in your home countries, you can use websites like europages.co.uk to find a manufacturer in the UK or in Europe. And it's very similar to the way that Alibaba works. You would just type in whatever you're looking for a manufacturer for, scroll around, and you can see, for instance, this manufacturer is based in France and they're verified by europages.com. You can click on their profile and you can navigate to find out more information about them. But if you're still struggling to find a manufacturer, my last piece of advice is to hire somebody. And you can hire a sourcing agent. And this is one site, Makers Row, where you can hire a concierge service for about $1,000, and they are going to be an expert in the industry and they're going to help you to find a manufacturer. Now, Makers Row is a website that you can use to find manufacturers for on your own, and it's about $400 a year, or you can hire a concierge service. In addition to this website, you can just go to Google, type in whatever your product is, space agent, and they'll be able to help you to find a manufacturer. Now, if you're still struggling, you can always go to LinkedIn and find people that are in your industry, send them a message and ask them if you could pay them for their time. But at this point, you've found a manufacturer, and I know for Carnivore Electrolytes, we've already found our manufacturer, we've already paid them, and let me share some details on how it worked with us. For Carnivore Electrolytes, we actually paid 50% up front, and then we're gonna pay the other 50% after they're done with the manufacturing. And I'm gonna go in person, I'm gonna inspect it, I'm gonna make sure everything is good. But if you're getting your product manufactured overseas, you can send an agent into the warehouse and you can actually have them inspect the product. And one way that you can find an agent is if you go to Alibaba.com, you go to Buyer Central, you can click on Production Monitoring and Inspection Services. And look here, production monitoring is only $48 and inspection is $118. And when you get your products inspected, they give you a giant PDF report with pictures of your products. They test it out. They tell you what the grade is. They'll check a bunch of different products at random to make sure that they're all up to their standards. Boom, at this point we have a manufacturer, and I'm gonna tell you right now, nothing beats the feeling of getting your first product sample from your manufacturer. Now, you do want to be careful because there are some common mistakes that people make when working with manufacturers. And I have an entire checklist of everything you should ask your manufacturer, as well as templates of exactly what you should send to a manufacturer to get them to start working with you, as well as how you can negotiate with them in my Amazon FBA program. And I know that I've been talking a lot about my Amazon FBA program, but I've spent over 7 years working on this program. Everything that I've learned is in my Amazon FBA program. Again, there is a link to that down below. If you are thinking about selling on Amazon, this is one of the best things that you can do, because I'm going to tell you from personal experience that a lot of people watch my free videos. But what I've seen over and over again is people that don't pay for things don't pay attention. People come to this video, they watch the entire video, and they never take action. So if you want to guarantee that you're going to take action, put your money where your mouth is. Link down below to join my Amazon FBA program. But in this next section, I'm going to show you how I design my product, including the logo, the packaging, and everything necessary for you to design your own Amazon FBA product. When designing your brand, there are 3 things you need to do. The first is to design a logo, and everything centers around your logo. But be careful, because if you make a mistake here, it could cost you a lot of money. Step 2 is design your branding and your packaging, and you want to make your packaging, your product, pop. Especially if you're selling your product online and people can't physically hold it, you're going to have to try to sell them with just an image of your product, and you're going to want to make sure that your image stands out from the rest of the branding and packaging out there. Step 3 is to design the product itself, and I'll give you some tips on how you can make a product that people are going to love and want to share with their friends. I've learned a ton of secrets about how to design your product, your logo, your branding, and right now it's more important than ever to create a brand. And that's because there's over 13,000 new online businesses being started every single day here in the United States. If you want to stand out, it's going to come down to your product design. And when you have high quality branding and packaging, you can sell your product for more. There's a reason that this shirt only costs a small amount of money and this shirt costs way more money, and it all comes down to branding. It's also going to make it so it's more memorable for your audience. Now, before we do any of this design step, the real first step is to come up with a brand name. And one of the most important things when creating a brand name is to make sure that it's relevant to the product that you're selling. And here's a hack. You can actually use the name of your product to explain what your product is. My first passion product was called Performance Nut Butter, and all jokes aside, it made it very clear what this product is. It's a nut butter product made from macadamia, coconut, and cashews that's geared towards people that are looking for high performance energy. And if you can have your brand name show the benefit of your product, this is a shortcut to success. I also taught this method to AJ, and we created a brand called Cocktail Cards, which is cocktail recipe flashcards, and he did over $500,000 in sales in his first year. You're also gonna wanna make sure you trademark your brand name, and sometimes it's hard to actually trademark the name of a brand. You might have to trademark the image of your logo, but that's okay, it'll still give you some legal protection. The big thing when coming up with a brand name is you not only want it just to be easy to remember, you ideally want to make it hard to forget. So even though there's a bit of a joke with Performance Nut Butter, it was hard for people to forget. Once you hear that, you're going to remember what the name of that product is. If you get stuck, there is a website called namelicks.com, and all you do is put some keywords in of what you're trying to sell, and it'll give you a ton of different ideas for a name for the brand of your product. For instance, for the new brand that I'm creating, we're going to be selling electrolytes for the carnivore diet. So if I hit generate and then I select some of the different information here, like styles and how random I want it to be, it'll come up with a bunch of different names for my brand. And some of these are pretty good, like Electrolyte Beast or Electrolyte Carnivore, but some are pretty bad, like Energy Bloods. Not something I would recommend. Now, for our product, we're just gonna be calling this brand Carnivore Electrolytes. And that is a bonus tip. Nowadays, people go to Google, they go to Amazon, they search for things that they want to buy. And if your brand can have the keywords, the things that they're searching for in the brand name of your product, you're more likely to come up at the top of the search results. And that's why I'm just going to do something very basic and call it Carnivore Electrolytes, because people are already going to Amazon and searching for Carnivore Electrolytes because people are on the carnivore diet and they want an electrolyte supplement. I want to market to those people, so we're going to make a very simple, easy brand name for this example. And once you have a brand name, you're going to want to go to namechk.com, and you can put in your brand name and it'll check to see if the domain's available, to see if the social media is available, and to make sure that no one else has already taken your brand name. You can also go to uspto.gov to make sure that no one else has already trademarked your name. And after you do that, I recommend getting the domain name for your product. You can go to godaddy.com or namecheap.com. And if you want to set up a website, I recommend going with a WooCommerce website or a Shopify website. WooCommerce is going to be a lot cheaper, and I recommend going with Hostinger. There's a link down below with a discount code if you go with Hostinger. It's only a couple dollars a month compared to Shopify, which is going to be around $30 to $40 a month. But now that you have a brand name, let's get into the 3 steps of how to actually create the logo, the branding, the whole product design, and everything for your product. And there's some things that you should know before you get started creating a logo. And one of the most important things is color theory. What do different colors mean? And less saturated colors like blues and pastels generally show more of a calm vibe. So if you're selling something in the baby niche, or maybe you're selling herbal teas, you're gonna wanna go with more pastel, calm, relaxing colors. Bright colors in contrast tend to create stronger, more intense feelings. Think things like activewear, or even sometimes food like McDonald's with the red and the yellow. On the other hand, the color blue can be calming and trustworthy. Think about all the different insurance companies that use the color blue. On the other hand, the color red will stimulate your brain and your heart and get you excited. And this is something deeply primal in humans. If you take the same girl and put her in a blue dress and a red dress, on average, most people would rate her more attractive in the red dress, even though it's the same girl. The same thing's true with your business. The right color can make your business appear more attractive for your audience depending on what you're trying to sell. And when designing your logo, there's two big options. One is to do it yourself, and one is to hire a professional. And I'll talk all the different ways that you can hire a professional to do your logo, and that's generally what I recommend. But if you're tight on cash, you can use websites or tools like Canva. And when you design your logo using Canva, it makes it extremely easy. And on top of that, you own your logo 100%. There's nothing to worry about as far as that goes. And this is very easy to do if you're looking for a very minimalist, simple design. However, if you want to hire a single expert to design your logo, you can go to websites like Fiverr or Upwork.com. Fiverr is going to be cheaper, but you're going to generally get lower quality designs. Here's an example of a Fiverr logo that I've gotten before. On the other hand, with websites like Upwork, you can generally find higher quality designers. And here's an example of a logo I've gotten from Upwork.com before. Now, another option, if you're willing to spend a little bit more money and you really don't know what kind of logo you want, I recommend is 99 Designs. And 99 Designs will cost you between $300 all the way up to $1,200. And what this allows you to do is run a contest where multiple different people will submit designs to you and you get to pick the winner. So I really like this. If you really need a creative idea for your logo, you can go to 99designs.com. There is a link down below in the description and it'll give you a huge discount when you sign up with 99 Designs. But if you're looking to sell an Amazon FBA product, and that's normally what I talk about here on this channel, I recommend going to FBAcreatives.com, and I co-founded this company, and this is the exact designers that I use when I'm launching a new Amazon FBA brand, and there's a link down below that'll get you half off, 50% off your design. And we can do at FBA Creatives your logo, your entire product and packaging and design, and we can even design your Amazon listing for you. And when working with my team to design this logo, we went through a ton of different iterations. And the most important thing when designing this logo was to make sure that it was going to pop, because when people go to Amazon and they search for products, we wanted to make sure that our product would stand out. And at the end of this video, I'll go into more depth explaining all the different iterations of logos that we went through, why I chose this final logo and package design, as well as give you some extra tips on how to make your product stand out. The next step is to design all your branding, because once you have the logo, you can take that and extrapolate it and create good packaging. You can create a website. You can figure out how you would create advertisements for your product. And with your branding, again, you want to make it pop. You want to make it stand out. You want to make it obvious from the look of your branding and your packaging what your product represents. And really what you're trying to do here is show the end customer how they're going to feel when they buy your product. That's why Apple branding is so simple and convenient. They're trying to let the customer know when you buy our product, your life's gonna be simpler and easier, and it's not gonna be really technical like when you buy a Windows computer. Nike, on the other hand, their branding is all about just do it, that you're gonna become stronger and faster and you're gonna work harder when you buy their products. How do you wanna make your customer feel? Do you wanna make them feel healthier? Then create branding and packaging that's gonna make them, when they look at it, feel like this is a healthy product. And you need to be careful at this step. For instance, Edgar, a student of mine, he ended up making a mistake with his packaging where he lost over $50,000 because he packaged a premium product in non-premium packaging. He put his premium apple cider vinegar into plastic bottles and people hated that. They complained and it ended up making it so sales were a lot lower. The third step, and a step that a lot of people overlook, is actually designing the product itself. And I'm not just talking about the container of the product, I'm talking about the ingredients, the thing that's inside the product. For instance, with Performance Nut Butter, my first Amazon business, and this business has done over $1 million in sales. For this product, I actually took out a food processor, tried out different ratios of nuts, and I came up with a formula that no one else was using, macadamia, coconut, and cashew, that tasted absolutely delicious. And as important as branding and logo and image design is, your actual product is the thing that people are going to fall in love with, and that's gonna make them come back again and again. Now, you're probably not a product designer, so how do you do this? Well, it could be as easy as what I did, pulling out a food processor and trying out different things, or we can look at what AJ did with cocktail cards. He just took some blank index cards and wrote out with a pen what he wanted on all the cards. He then later hired a designer to make it look a lot more professional. But if you can't do this yourself, if you're selling something that's a little bit more complicated, you can try a few different things. The first is work with your manufacturer. For carnivore electrolytes, we just talked with the manufacturer. We told them exactly what ratios of different ingredients we wanted. We did some research and tried to figure out with the carnivore diet, what is the most important ingredients in an electrolyte powder. For instance, we found out more magnesium, calcium, and potassium is very important if you're on the carnivore diet, because you're not going to get a lot of that in your day-to-day foods. But if your manufacturer isn't really willing to work with you, or they're not knowledgeable in this area, you can again go to Fiverr or Upwork. And it's crazy. Any kind of expert that you're looking for, you can probably find on Upwork.com. Now that you have your product designed and the packaging ready to go, it's time to list your product on Amazon. And if you need help with designing your product, as I mentioned, you can check out FBAcreatives.com. And if you decide to join my Amazon FBA program, there are discount codes with FBA Creatives, as well as I can connect you with graphic designers and manufacturers. I have actually an entire list of all the contacts that I've used ever when selling on Amazon, from manufacturers, designers, video editors, you name it. I have a list of all my common contacts. Obviously, I don't give this out to everybody on YouTube because those people would get flooded with requests, but that's one of the perks of joining my Amazon FBA program. Again, link to that down below. But now we need to talk about one of the most important parts of selling on Amazon, which is creating your listing on Amazon. And a lot of people get nervous about this. A lot of people are worried, but I'm gonna show you step by step how you can create your own listing for selling on Amazon. And if you do this properly, it's gonna make it so your product gets to the top of the Amazon search results, which ultimately means more money for you. I'm gonna show you how to list your first product on Amazon. And the first thing you need to do when listing a product on Amazon is to sign up for an Amazon seller account. You can go to sell.amazon.com, click sign up, and sign up for an account. Once you've signed up for an account, you're gonna log into that account and it'll take you to your Amazon Seller Central. Once you're in your Seller Central account, you're gonna click on these three lines up here. You're gonna go to Catalog and you're gonna click on Add Products. If you're looking to sell a product on Amazon that's already being sold on Amazon, you're gonna type in the product name here, or you can use the UPC code or the ASIN number. But if the product that you want to sell on Amazon is not yet being sold on Amazon, you're gonna click on I'm adding a product not sold on Amazon. The next step is you're gonna tell Amazon which category to put the product listing that you're creating in. And there are a ton of different categories: appliances, baby products, beauty and personal care, all kinds of different things. And we're selling electrolytes. So we type it in and we click search. And Amazon gives us the categories that it thinks would be a good fit for our product. After looking at them all, I decided to go with this category right here because I think it's the best fit of all the different categories. Now, if you're not sure what the best option is for you, you can look at similar products that are being sold on Amazon and try to figure out what category they're being sold on. Once you figure that out, you're gonna select that category. And today we're using a real example. We're gonna be using my brand new product, Carnivore Electrolytes. The first question it's going to ask you when you're listing your product is, does this product have variations? And since we're only currently selling one flavor of this product, the answer is going to be no. If we were to be selling multiple flavors of this, the answer would be yes. If you're selling your product in multiple colors, multiple sizes, you'll select yes. The next thing you'll need to fill out is the external product ID. And you can select what kind of an ID you want to use. Do you want to use an EIN, a GTIN, UPC, or ASIN? Now, most people watching this video, you're going to select a UPC code. And UPC stands for Universal Product Code. And just about every product in the world has a UPC code. That is the barcode that you see on products that they scan at Walmart, at Target, or just about anywhere that they sell products. And you need some kind of an identification number if you're going to be selling on Amazon. As I mentioned, a UPC code is the most common one. And to get a UPC code for your product, you're going to go to gs1.org and select Get Your Barcode. And it used to be that you had to buy 10 barcodes at the same time, which was around $250. But recently, gs1.org has allowed you to just buy one barcode for $30. And I highly recommend paying the $30 and getting a legitimate barcode. There are other websites where you can get barcodes for cheaper, but oftentimes by trying to save a little bit of money, it's going to cause you a lot of headaches down the road. So don't cheap out. Get the legitimate, authentic barcode barcodes from gs1.org. And once you get your barcode, you'll type those numbers in here. If for some reason you're selling a product that does not require a UPC code, you can select I don't have a product ID, and it'll make you apply for an exemption. The next thing Amazon's gonna ask you is to put the name of your item. And this is gonna be the title of your Amazon listing. And so when people go to Amazon and they search for your product, they're gonna see the title, the main image, the price, and the number of reviews. So the title is one of the most important things, and a lot of people don't pay enough attention to this. And this is the title that we used for this product. And I will explain how we came up with this title later in this video, but your title when selling a product on Amazon is one of the most important parts of your entire listing. And that's because the way that people buy products from Amazon.com is they go to Amazon and they search for the things that they want to purchase. And Amazon puts at the top of the search results the products that it thinks is most likely to be related to that search. But the thing is, Amazon doesn't know what your product is, and it doesn't know which searches to put your product in unless you tell Amazon what your product is. And one of the best ways to tell Amazon exactly what your product is by creating a title that has the words people are searching for. You want to figure out what are the search phrases, what are the things people are searching for, and include that in your title. For instance, with this product, we use the title Carnivore Electrolytes, Premium Hydration Powder Drink for Meat-Based Diet. Pure electrolyte support, zero carb, keto friendly, optimal energy and recovery. Now, the reason that we picked this title is because I know that people are searching for carnivore electrolytes. I also know that some people don't call it a carnivore diet, they call it a meat-based diet. So I included that in there as well. And I'm gonna go in depth later in this video and share with you exactly how I came up with this title, but this is such a crucial step. So you're gonna wanna make sure you stay till the end of the video to understand how I crafted this title. But if you wanna make money selling on Amazon, your entire goal is to get your product at the top of the search results for things that people are actually searching for. And the way that Amazon works is that the product at the top of the search results gets most of the sales. Here's a graph of how many sales products get depending on what position they are in the search results. And as you can see, the top product gets most of the sales, followed by the second product, third product, fourth product, and it's actually exponential. So the higher up in the search results you can get, the better your product is going to sell. And the only way that Amazon's gonna know if your product should even be in the search results is based on your title and your bullet points and the keywords you give to Amazon, because that lets Amazon know what searches are relevant to your product. So I'll go into depth later in this video talking about how to figure out what keywords you should put in your title, but for now, this is the title that we use. The next thing is the brand name, and you're gonna put the brand name of your product. Now, if your product that you're selling does not have a brand name, you can check this box right here to let Amazon know. If your product does have a brand name though, you are gonna have to go through the brand registry process to let Amazon know that you actually own the brand that you're talking about. And part of going through brand registry is you do need to file for a trademark. But don't worry, if you don't want to go through brand registry, you can always just select this box and it just won't show the brand name of your product on your listing. Once you're done filling out this information, you're going to click on continue. The most important part of listing your product, in my opinion, is the images and the bullet points, and we're going to get to that in just a few minutes, but first we need to fill out this vital information. And the first question they ask is, who is the manufacturer? And you can put almost whatever you want here, and if it's your product, you can put your own brand name here. Even if you used a third-party manufacturer, it doesn't matter. So we're just going to put Carnivore Electrolytes here. For each unit count, we're just going to put 1 because we're only sending in 1 jar of Carnivore Electrolyte. The next question that it asks is, does this product, is it expirable? And the answer is yes, because there is a shelf life to this product. It is consumable, and even though it's just salts and it really doesn't expire that much, by law, any kind of consumable product, at least to my knowledge, you need to have some expiration date. Now, if you're selling a product that does not expire, you'll select no to this. For instance, AJ, a student that I also partner with on his product, Cocktail Cards, since that product is made out of cardboard, it never expires. So in that case, we'd select no. After that, you'll let Amazon know what the country of origin is. And since our product is manufactured in the United States, we're gonna put United States. Then you'll select whether your product contains liquids or not. No for us. Is the item heat sensitive? No. And you'll also put the form factor. And for this, I'm just gonna select standalone because it's a standalone jar. And it'll also ask you, is package level orderable? And for most people watching this video, you're going to select yes. This is a little bit more of a complicated one. Don't worry about it. For now, if you want more information, you can hover over the question mark for any of these different things. We're gonna go ahead and select yes. What this basically means is this package that you're creating a listing for, is it something that people can order? And before we click save and finish, there are some other things that we need to fill out. So let's go to the offer next. And the first field is what is the SKU? SKU stands for stock keeping unit. We're going to put here the SKU for carnivore electrolytes. And this can be whatever you want. Amazon's also going to ask you for what the price is for your product. Now, I recommend pricing your product at least 3 times more than it costs you. The more that you can price, the higher up you can price it, usually the better. But you're gonna also wanna look at your competition and decide, is your price somewhat competitive? Now, I don't think you should be the cheapest price out there. I think actually it's better to have a premium price. I would prefer to be slightly, maybe a couple dollars more than the next most expensive product. You want your product to be a premium product that's better than the competition. Because when people go to Amazon, they're actually not as price sensitive as you might think. There are some people, maybe a certain percentage of the population, that are always gonna buy the cheapest thing. But there is a percentage of the population that's always gonna buy the most expensive thing. And there's a middle ground of people that don't really care what the price is. They're gonna go based on the reviews and based on how good the product is. Next up, Amazon's gonna ask you how much quantity you have of the products that you're going to sell. And this is only relevant if you plan on doing fulfilled by merchant. And I'm gonna explain that in just a second. But before I get there, it also asks you, what is the condition type of the product that you're selling? And for most people, selling products on Amazon, it's going to be new. But now we get to an important question, and that is, what is the fulfillment channel of this product? And fulfillment channel basically just means, are you going to ship it or are you going to allow Amazon to ship it? And so the way that this works is you have 2 different options here. This first one here is merchant fulfilled. Oftentimes you'll hear people talk about this as FBM, which stands for fulfilled by merchant. And this just simply means that every time you get an order on Amazon's website, Amazon's gonna give you a notification and you're gonna have to print out the shipping label, you're gonna have to package up the item, you're gonna have to put that shipping label on the item and ship it out to the customer. And that's not what I normally recommend. For most people watching this video right here, I recommend instead doing Amazon will ship and provide customer service. This is oftentimes known as FBA, or fulfilled by Amazon. This is where you send a number of units of your product ready to go into the Amazon warehouse. And when Amazon gets an order, they're going to pick, pack, and ship it out to the customer. This is going to save you a lot of time, but also a lot of money because Amazon has cheaper fulfillment rates. In addition to that, by selecting that Amazon will ship and provide customer service, you're also going to get more sales. Because when you send your products into the Amazon warehouse and you select this option, it'll put a little Prime badge on your product listing, meaning that everybody that goes to Amazon that's a Prime member will see this and they'll know when they buy your product, they're able to get the product shipped to them in 2 days. And Prime customers are much more likely to buy Prime eligible products. Amazon knows this, so usually they'll put Prime eligible products at the top of the search results, meaning ultimately more sales for you. There are over 150 Prime members in the United States, and this number is continuing to grow. And these people all want Prime eligible products. So I highly recommend, if you want to create a passive income source for yourself, then select Amazon will ship and provide customer service. Once you're done with that, we're going to go to the next section, which is the images. And this is one of the most important parts that so many people overlook. And the reason, again, is because when someone searches for a product that they want to buy, all they see for the different products is the main image, the title, the price, and the number of reviews. And the main image is probably the most important thing. If you can capture people's attention with your main image, they're highly likely to click on your product. And if they click on your product, they're very likely to buy your product. So you want to make sure that you have the perfect main image. And to create the perfect main image, you want to have an image that's going to stand out in the search results and perfectly match what people are searching for. That's why for this brand new product, our label says carnivore electrolytes. We want when people see it, they're gonna know exactly what they're getting. Plus it's bold, it stands out, it's gonna catch people's eye. So for our main image, we're basically just gonna be showing the product packaging. And to upload your main image, you're gonna click right here on upload, and you're gonna select the image that you'd like to use. In addition to your main image, you can also add up to 8 additional images. And you wanna make sure you add as many images as possible for your product, because when people are buying something on Amazon, they can't pick it up, they can't physically hold it. And the only way that they can know what it's like to own your product is by looking at these other images. So this is a chance for you to really sell your product and convince people to actually buy your product instead of the competition. And some examples of things that you should use for the other images is always use some kind of a graph or chart showing how your product is better than the competition. You need to pay attention to the images you're posting. When Mina first launched his brand, it cost him over $10,000 because he posted some lower quality images. Now I'm going to show you how to create the perfect optimized title and bullet points for your listing. And as I mentioned, this is the key to having success when selling on Amazon, because Amazon is just a search engine. People go to Amazon to search for things they want to buy. And the only way that Amazon knows what your product is and what searches it should show your product for is by adding those search phrases to the title and the bullet points. So you need to figure out what people are searching for on Amazon, that when they search for that phrase, they would see your product and want to buy your product. And we're going to want to include those words in your title, in your bullet points. And right now I'm going to show you how to figure out what words people are searching for and how to understand which of these phrases you should actually include in your title and your bullet points. And this tool, Helium 10, is a crucial tool to use if you're going to be selling a product on Amazon, because it's going to help you to figure out which search terms, which keywords you should be targeting. And by using this tool, it's going to make it so you have a better title, better bullet points. You can figure out these search terms, and ultimately it's going to make it so that your product gets more sales. I have a link with a discount code in the description for Helium 10. And once you sign up for Helium 10, there's actually two different tools here that are going to help you to figure out which keywords to target. One is the magnet tool and the other one is Cerebro. And the way that the magnet tool works is you type in what things you think people would type into Amazon to buy your product. I think carnivore and electrolytes are going to be the two main keywords that people are going to be searching for in Amazon, so we'll type that in here. And carnivore electrolytes has over 1,000 searches per month, which is a great sign, which means that we're going to want to make sure we put this in our title and our bullet points. It also turns out that people are searching for electrolytes 80,000 times per month, carnivore 3,000 times per month, and carnivore diet 9,000 times per month. So we have a good product here. But the other thing that this tool does is it actually gives us other ideas that people might be typing into Amazon that we might want to try to use as search terms. Now, not all of these keywords are relevant, but you can go through and you can try to figure out which ones are the most relevant to your product that also happen to get the highest search volume. And by doing that, we came up with this list of things that people are searching in Amazon where they might be interested in our product. And let's look over some of these keywords that we're going to want to include in our title and our bullet points in our search terms. And the first one, carnivore diet electrolytes, similar to carnivore electrolytes, zero carb electrolyte powder. So that's something that a lot of people that are searching for the carnivore diet or a keto diet, they want to make sure that the product has zero carbs. Also related is keto. People that are interested in the carnivore diet are oftentimes interested in the keto diet, meat-based diet. So that's something that we're going to want to throw in as well. We can say this in our title. We can say carnivore electrolytes, perfect for a meat-based diet. People use meat-based and carnivore somewhat interchangeably. Carnivore hydration support. Apparently there's people searching for that. So we're going to want to make sure we put that in our bullet points, in our title, and especially the words hydration and support. Electrolytes for zero carb diet, high quality carnivore supplements. So people are typing in carnivore supplements. So we're going to want to make sure we use the word supplements. No sugar electrolyte powder. Yeah, we'll put no sugar in there. Carnivore lifestyle, pure electrolytes for meat eaters, pure electrolytes. That's interesting. People are probably going to Amazon and searching, all I want is electrolytes. I don't want any of the other junk. I don't want the sugar. I don't want the artificial sweeteners. So we're going to want to make sure we use the word pure. Essential electrolytes, essential. We'll put that in there. Carnivore diet recovery drink. So drink, the word drink is important, and recovery is also important. Premium. People are searching for premium carnivore diet supplements. Low carb electrolyte mix. So we're going to have to put the word mix because this is a mix. It's a powder. Probably even use the word powder in there. So now that we have our keywords, we're going to try to incorporate those keywords into the title. And this is the title that we came up with. And right away, we're putting the word carnivore. This is our number one keyword because anyone that's on the carnivore diet, and really anyone searching carnivore in Amazon is probably on the carnivore diet. They're probably not looking to buy a lion, which is a carnivore. They're probably looking for something related to the carnivore diet. So we put carnivore electrolytes. That's our number one keyword. 1,000 people per month are searching for this, and there's no product on the market that's targeting this keyword properly. Then we have premium hydration powder drink. These were all words that we found in our keyword search: premium, hydration, powder, and drink for meat-based diet. And this actually makes sense. This premium hydration powder drink for meat-based diet. That is perfect. And then we use the word pure. Remember I showed you during our keywords, pure electrolyte support. People were looking for pure electrolytes. They weren't just looking for junk electrolytes. They wanted pure electrolytes. Zero carb, keto friendly, optimal energy and recovery. So we included all the words. Even though carnivore and diet don't appear together, the word carnivore is here and the word diet's here. If we wanted to, because carnivore diet's such a big one, we could maybe add optimal energy and recovery for carnivore diet, for the carnivore diet, but we don't need the word the in that situation. But you see how we took all those keywords and we put this into our title. Now Amazon knows what our product's about, and it knows to show our product on searches that result in, that have any of these different words. If someone's searching for carnivore electrolytes, they know that's our entire product. And so now that we've done the title, let me show you step by step how we're gonna go over and do the bullet points. And now you're ready to write your bullet points. And a huge mistake that new Amazon sellers make when writing their bullet points is not highlighting the benefits of their product. Let me show you now the bullet points that we're using for carnivore electrolytes. And you can see here that we included a specific formula that you can copy and use for your own product. And now let me share with you bullet point by bullet point what we picked and why we decided to write it. So the first bullet point includes the words carnivore diet optimized. And so we started with the words carnivore diet because that is one of the top things people are searching. If you're on the carnivore diet, you're going to be searching in Amazon carnivore diet snacks, carnivore diet supplements. So we wanted to make sure that we included the word carnivore diet. And obviously optimized is just a way to say that, hey, it's optimized for the carnivore diet. And then it says specifically formulated for the carnivore diet, our electrolytes provide essential minerals without carbs, sugars, or unwanted additives. So we're explaining that this is the benefit of our product compared to other electrolyte products. A lot of the other ones out there have carbs or sugars or unwanted things that would make the product no longer carnivore friendly. So if you're on the carnivore diet and you're reading this bullet point, you're gonna say to yourself, oh, wow, this is the perfect product for me. So and then it says making it perfectly aligned with your meat-based lifestyle. Next says premium quality ingredients. And this is more of a feature than it is a benefit, really. But you know, maybe I'll change this in the future. But premium quality ingredients sourced from the highest quality ingredients. Our electrolyte powder offers a pure and potent blend, ensuring optimal hydration and nutrient balance for carnivore seeking premium health support. This is probably not my favorite bullet point. In the future, I'm gonna change this, but we had to put something, because we are launching this product in just 7 days, we did something quick. And so enhanced hydration and recovery. This is more of a benefit. We're saying that the benefit of our product is that it's gonna enhance your hydration and it's gonna lead to more recovery. So then we put designed to boost hydration and aid in faster recovery. This electrolyte mix replenishes vital minerals lost during high protein diets, workouts. So, and right there, so we talk about how this is gonna replenish the minerals lost during high protein diets, workouts, and daily activities, keeping you energized and resilient. So there we have the benefit, keeping you energized and resilient. That's the real benefit of why. And I think as I'm reading these, so I actually had one of my writers write some of these, and I'm seeing that there is room for improvement. So even with me and my team, you know, there's always ways to make it better. And one of the things that I would have done for this bullet point if I were to redo it is include keywords. Instead of saying enhanced hydration and recovery, I would have included the keywords that we're targeting. And I don't have all the keywords right in front of me, but things like keto friendly is a keyword, and carnivore diet supplements. So like we could have said, instead of perfect hydration for carnivores, or perfect hydration for another word for that, like meat-based diets. So going on here, we have keto friendly and zero carbs. So that, I mean, zero carbs is not necessarily a benefit, but it's definitely a keyword. And keto friendly is a benefit. A lot of people that would be interested in this product are also maybe on the keto diet. Ideal for those on the ketogenic diet as well. Our zero carb formula supports ketosis. Ketosis is a good keyword. So we could have even had that as like improves ketosis as like one of the first bullets that we use. Provides essential electrolytes without disrupting your dietary goals, offering versatile benefits for various low-carb lifestyles. We have easy to mix and delicious. That's just a nice fun one. We also have made in the USA, but one we didn't include here that I usually like to include, and I'm surprised we didn't include, is I usually like to include 100% money back guarantee. I think it's very powerful to have a 100% money back guarantee as a bullet point because it looks good. And on top of that, it just, it pops, it looks good. It makes people feel good about when they're buying the product. So you're gonna see when we do launch carnivore electrolytes, we're gonna change that to say 100% money back guarantee. And then there's like a little phrase that we have where we say something to the effect of like, we stand behind our product 100% and we know that you'll love it. And if you don't 100% love it within the first 30 days, just send us an email and we'll give you 100% of your money back. So easy to mix and delicious. Our electrolyte powders dissolve smoothly in water or your preferred beverage, offering a convenient and delicious way to stay hydrated and nourished. Perfect for busy carnivores on the go. Made in the USA. So made in the USA is good because I think people do want to know that, but I also think that we should have, like I said, had that 100% money back guarantee. So once you have your bullet points, you're going to paste them in here and then you'll click add more and you'll put the next bullet point in after that. And you'll do this for all 5 bullet points. Once you're done filling out your bullet points, Amazon asks you, is there any kind of mandatory cautionary statement? Look through these different examples here and see if any of these apply to your product. If none of them do, you can click on no warning applicable. Before we click on save and finish, there's actually more options that are hidden. And to get those other options, you can click on all attributes. And you don't have to add all these attributes, but there are some secret hidden gems that I highly recommend doing. And one of them is the product description. This is completely optional, but this is another chance for you to sell people on why your product is amazing. So write out a compelling reason why people should buy your product and go ahead and paste it in there. If you're interested in purchasing and getting a discount, I highly recommend you can click on the link down below to get on the wait list for this product. Or if you're seeing this video after we've already launched it, that link will take you straight to the Amazon listing page. Go to the Amazon page, buy, and obviously after you get the product, make sure to leave a review. Hopefully it is a 5-star review. Another hidden thing that's very important is this offer start date. And you want to make sure that if you're going to be selling a product in the future, that you don't want to release it too soon, because if you don't select an offer start date, what's going to happen is as soon as your listing gets approved, your product's going to be available for sale. And that's really bad. That's something you want to avoid, because the way that Amazon works is you want to try to get as many sales as possible from day one. So if the first day that your listing is available is just whenever Amazon approves your listing, it's going to make it so your product has no sales when it first comes available for sale. So you always want to make sure that you put this date as a date in the future. And another key thing to selling a product on Amazon is you want to try to build up your audience. And the reason I say this is because you want to try to do a bunch of promotion. You want to try to get people excited so that when you launch your product on that first day, you're going to get as many sales as possible. Another key thing that a lot of people skip is this keyword section. And this is gold. You need to go in and you need to add keywords, because this is telling Amazon exactly what search results are relevant to your product. And that's a brief overview of how you can create your own listing. In my Amazon FBA program, I show way more examples, go into way more detail, and show a more step-by-step process of how you can figure out what keywords you should target, how you can know what your bullet points should be. I really show in depth the entire process of creating your own listing. But now that we have our listing created, it's time to ship our products from our manufacturer into the Amazon warehouse. And this is a very easy step-by-step process. And make sure you watch this next section in depth, because a lot of times I see people making mistakes and they end up shipping their products to the wrong location, or they end up doing things that cost them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So watch in detail this next section where I'm going to show you how to ship your products into the Amazon warehouse. The first step to send your first shipment into the Amazon FBA warehouse is to go to sell.amazon.com and click to sign up for an Amazon seller account. Once you have your seller account, you're going to log in. The second step is to make sure that the item that you want to ship into the Amazon warehouse is listed under your manage inventory. If the product that you want to ship into the Amazon warehouse is not listed under your manage FBA inventory, you're going to go to inventory and click add a product. If the product that you want to ship into the Amazon warehouse already has an active Amazon listing, you're going to search for that listing and you're going to click that you want to sell this item. You'll then have to fill out a little bit of information about the product that you're shipping in. However, if the item that you want to send into the Amazon FBA warehouse is not already being sold on Amazon, if there's not already a listing, you're going to have to create a listing by clicking this button, I'm adding a product not being sold on Amazon. You'll then have to go through and fill out information about the product that you want to list on Amazon. Once you do those first 2 steps, it's time to start the process of shipping your product into the Amazon FBA warehouse. But once you have your seller account and your product is added to your manage inventory, you're going to click on manage inventory and you're going to scroll down and find the product that you want to send to the Amazon FBA warehouse and click on this little drop down next to the edit button. You'll then select send/replenish inventory. Now, if you don't see this option, it may be because you currently have your item set to be fulfilled by merchant, and you'll need to switch that. And the way to change that is to click this button that says change to fulfilled by Amazon. And to show you how to ship your products into the Amazon warehouse, I'm gonna use a real example of a real product I'm selling called carnivore electrolytes, which is listed here. And we're gonna click on send and replenish inventory. Now, warning, there are 5 huge mistakes I see new sellers making that end up costing them thousands of dollars and delaying their shipments and delaying when they actually start getting sales. But pay attention and I'll show you how to avoid the 5 most common mistakes I see new sellers making when trying to ship their products into the Amazon warehouse. And right here is the first mistake. Most people end up selecting the wrong ship from address. Always double check this and make sure it's correct, because I've actually made this mistake before and it ended up costing me $5,000 in lost sales. And if your ship from address is not correct, in order to change it, you're going to click here and you can ship from a different address. You can then click add contact and put a new address here. This is really important because if you're shipping from your manufacturer's address, you'll want to put their address instead of your own personal address. It'll automatically default to your own personal address, but if you have your product being manufactured at a warehouse in some other area and you want Amazon to pick up your products from the manufacturer, you need to make sure that they have their address. However, if you have the products shipped to your house first so you can inspect them, then that's fine, obviously, if you have your personal address. Now, here's one of my secret hacks that's going to save you a lot of money. If you're shipping products from China, if your manufacturer is overseas in a place like China, and you want to ship it directly from them into the Amazon warehouse, you might want to find an address that you can use as your ship from address that's located in California. That way, Amazon is going to pick an Amazon FBA fulfillment center, a storage warehouse that is located in California, and California is very close to China. And this will save you money because if, for instance, you live on the East Coast or in the middle of the United States and you have that as your ship from address, Amazon's going to select a fulfillment center in the middle of the United States or on the East Coast. And that means if your product's being shipped from China, it's gonna have a lot further of a distance to travel. And it would ultimately mean that you'd have to pay more money in shipping fees, because you'd have to pay the shipping fees from China to a port probably in California anyways, and then you'd have to pay additional trucking fees and shipping fees from that port into whatever fulfillment center on the other side of the country that you are being told to send your products into. Now, warning, technically I think this is against Amazon's rules, so do this at your own risk, but pretty much every Amazon seller I know ends up doing this, so it's not something that I'd be worried about doing myself. The next step is to look at the marketplace destination. If you're looking to sell products in Amazon United States, you're gonna wanna select United States. However, if you're wanting to sell products in Canada, the UK, Europe, or some other marketplace, you're gonna wanna select the correct marketplace here. After that, we can look at the fulfillment capability. For most people, if you're planning on only selling on Amazon, click standard fulfillment by Amazon. But this really depends on how you're selling your product. If you're looking to sell products on your own website and you want Amazon to be able to ship out the products for you, you're going to want to select a blank box, and you're gonna have Amazon ship out products both for when you sell a product on Amazon and on your website. You can do a mixture of both. But because you're probably only selling on Amazon at this point, like we're currently doing with carnivore electrolytes, you're gonna select standard fulfillment, and then we're gonna scroll down here, and we've already got a template here for carnivore electrolytes. But if this is your first time shipping a product on Amazon, you're gonna need to create a new case pack template. And I'll explain the definition of all the words that I'm using, and it's important that you know all these different definitions because Amazon is really specific and it can get confusing. And the first word that I wanted to define here is case pack template. And when I say case pack, it means a container that's gonna hold multiple of your units. And with carnivore electrolytes, we don't just ship in one at a time. We have a big box where we put around 40 plus of our tubs in. And we're gonna be giving Amazon the dimensions of our case pack and creating a template because we're probably going to send in the same number of units and the same size every time we send in a shipment. However, if your product didn't already come in boxes and you need boxes in order to ship your product into Amazon, you can go into your local Walmart, order them from Amazon, or one of my favorite places to order boxes from at a discount is uline.com. And when you're creating your new template, there are a few things that can mess up new sellers. There's some big mistakes new sellers make. And here are some of the things to keep in mind because the Amazon warehouse has some specific requirements. You need to make sure that the case that you're shipping in has no side that is longer than 25 inches. So every side needs to be under 25 inches. And once you put all your units, all your product into the box, you need to make sure that that box does not weigh over 50 pounds. There are some other recommendations on Amazon's website. I'll put a link to all the recommendations down below. And to get started, you're going to give this template a name. So I'm gonna call this Carnivore Test. And then we're going to have to select the number of units per box. And we put 45 tubs of carnivore electrolytes into every case that we send into Amazon. And then you'll type in the dimensions down here. And our box was 11 inches by 18 inches by 10 inches. And each case weighed 37.35 pounds. You're then going to look at the prep category, and for most products, there's no prep needed, but click on this and just look to see if there's anything special about your product. For instance, is it an adult item? Is it baby products? Is it fragile, glass? Is there liquids or anything where Amazon might need to know that there's more prep needed for your specific product? For us, and for most of you watching, there's no prep needed since we're selling a pretty simple product. So we're going to click to save that. Now I want to tell you about the second big mistake that I see so many Amazon sellers making. And this causes massive problems and delays down the road. So please pay attention here. And this mistake is not properly prepping your products. Now, how you prep your product is different from category to category. So if your product falls under one of the categories we talked about where prep is needed, I recommend you do research and find out what you need to do to prep your specific item. I'll put a link down below to an article that goes over how you need to prep your product depending on which of the prep needed categories it falls into. But another huge mistake I see new Amazon sellers make is labeling their product incorrectly. And I'm specifically talking about labeling the individual units. And labeling your units just means adding on your FN SKU to every single unit, every single product that you're going to be selling. And FN SKU stands for Fulfillment Network Stock Keeping Unit. And this is just a way for Amazon and the Amazon FBA warehouse to keep track of the stock of the products that you're selling. Now, this is different than a UPC code. A UPC code is a barcode that all products have, and it stands for Universal Product Code. And every product being sold has a UPC code. This is the barcode that they scan at Walmart or when you go into a store to identify what the product is. And this is different than an FN SKU. And the way you can think about this is every single product in the world has a UPC code, and that UPC code identifies that specific product. Now, FN SKU is different because let's say I bought a tub of laundry detergent and I decided I want to sell this on Amazon, and you bought a tub of laundry detergent. And let's say that you bought the same tub of laundry detergent and you also wanted to sell it on Amazon. Both these products would have the same UPC code. However, Amazon would give us both different FN SKUs to identify which of the units are your units and which of the units are my units. So you're gonna wanna add on your FN SKU to your product. If you're selling a product that was created by someone else, let's say you're doing retail arbitrage or wholesale, you're gonna wanna put your FN SKU sticker over top of the UPC code. However, if you're selling your own private label or passion product, you can print your FN SKU directly on your product, saving you the cost of having to create the stickers. And in just a minute, I'm gonna explain how to get your FN SKU and how to print them out as stickers if you're not able to print your FN SKU directly on your product. And I'll give you my hack for this in just a second, but I always recommend that you either put the stickers on yourself or you have the manufacturer print the FN SKU on. Just do not have Amazon label the units for you because they're gonna charge you 50 cents per unit just to put on the FN SKU sticker. And in order to get your FN SKU, you're gonna go here and you're going to print your FN SKU labels. And you can put in how many units you need labels for. For instance, let's say we needed 30, we'll click on print and you'll get a paper that looks like this with a bunch of barcodes. And you can buy sticker paper that you can put into any printer, print out these barcodes and just slap it on your product. It is easy, but it does take a lot of time because you have to do each one individually. So that's why I usually recommend just having your manufacturer do it for you by either printing on the barcode, or you can even ask them, can you just print out the stickers and put it on the products? And they'll usually do that for a small fee. And boom, you've just saved a lot of money and you've avoided making a mistake that a lot of beginners make. And this is what we did for carnivore electrolytes. We didn't want to have to deal with printing out, buying sticker paper and labeling every single unit. We just had our manufacturer print the FN SKU directly on the packaging for us. Once we're done with the template, we're going to click save and we're going to come to this screen and we're going to let Amazon know how many boxes we're going to be sending in. And by boxes, they mean cases here. And we're planning to send in 9 cases, and each case has 45 units. So that's a total of 405 units that we're going to be sending in. And then we're going to click ready to send. The next step is to click confirm and continue. You're then going to go into confirm shipping. We're going to view this down here and we're going to select a ship date, and I'm going to select January 26th as the ship date. But if you look here, there are 2 different options that Amazon gives you. They give you small parcel delivery, what we're selecting, but they also give you the option of less than truckload. And for most people watching this video, you're going to want to select small parcel delivery. And let me explain the difference between small parcel delivery and less than truckload. With small parcel delivery, you're going to use this option if you're planning on putting your units into boxes and then going to UPS and dropping off those boxes, or having a UPS truck come to you to pick up those boxes. And this is most common if you're sending a small amount of inventory. On the other hand, if you're sending in a whole pallet of your product into the Amazon warehouse, you're going to select less than truckload. And this is where a truck is going to come to your house or to your manufacturer and pick up an entire pallet or multiple pallets of your product. Just make sure to confirm with your manufacturer, if you go with this option, that they're willing to accept a truck to come pick up the products. You'll also need to let them know to put your products on a pallet and to properly wrap it, and that's something I'll talk about later in this video. Now, this is another mistake I see people making. If you're sending in a lot of products into the Amazon warehouse, don't keep doing small parcel delivery. Start doing less than truckload and start sending in an entire pallet or multiple pallets. And this method of less than truckload is how I used to send my product, Performance Nut Butter, into the Amazon warehouse. We'd send in thousands of units at a time. And if you're sending in that many units, you can actually schedule a truck to come to your house with a lift gate and pick up the entire pallet right from your home. And boom, if you're sending in a lot of inventory, this will cut your shipping costs in half. Another secret that not a lot of sellers know is that it's relatively inexpensive to send your products into the Amazon warehouse because you're using Amazon's discounted UPS shipping rates. We're sending in 9 cases and it's only going to cost us $26.62. That's a total weight of 336 pounds. If you were to send the same number of boxes with the same weight to just a friend in another city, it would cost you hundreds of dollars. But because Amazon has negotiated down their shipping rates, it's pretty inexpensive to ship it into the Amazon warehouse. And if you click on this button right here, you can use a different shipping service than UPS to ship your products into the Amazon warehouse. But remember, it's gonna be a lot more expensive to do that, so I don't recommend doing that. However, if you did wanna do that, you can click on which service you're going to use, DHL, FedEx, USPS, or another one. But generally speaking, if you can, I recommend sticking with UPS if you're gonna be doing the small parcel delivery. Before I move on to the next section, I do also wanna note that if you select less than truckload as your shipping option, you're not gonna be using UPS. Amazon's going to connect you with a local trucking company, and that process is a little bit different. And that's something that I talk about in a lot more depth in my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Products Formula. There's a link down below to that. And if you're a new Amazon seller and you're really looking to learn the proper way of selling on Amazon, then I'd highly recommend checking out my Amazon FBA program. It comes with weekly Q&A calls, 100 step-by-step lessons, and a bunch more in-depth information than what I offer here on YouTube. Link to that down below. But since most people watching this video are just gonna be doing small parcel delivery, you're gonna select UPS as your carrier. And once you've done that, you're gonna click accept charges and confirm shipping. You're then going to need to print out the box labels. And these are the labels that you're gonna put on the outside of the cases that you're sending into Amazon. And you're going to get 2 labels. The first one is the UPS label here, and this is the label for UPS to scan in your package and to be able to track your package. You'll attach this to the box. You'll also attach to the same box the second label over here, and this is the Amazon FBA Box ID label. The purpose of this label is when you ship into the Amazon Fulfillment Center, Amazon will scan this label and know exactly where your package is in their warehouse. And every time your package moves around the warehouse or goes to a different warehouse, they're gonna scan this so they can keep track of your individual products. So this is a very important label, and you're going to need to make sure that you leave this label uncovered. Basically, make sure that you don't accidentally put any tape over the parts that need to be scanned, because sometimes that can cause some issues on this label. It'll make it so it's not properly scanned in. And if Amazon has issues with this, they may lose your inventory, or they may end up just not accepting it, or they may end up charging you a bunch of money in order to properly fix it. Now, before we go any further, there are some really important details you must double check on these labels. Otherwise, there could be issues with your shipment. Amazon could lose your products, or a bunch of other things could happen. In fact, UPS might even charge you more money if you have incorrect information on your labels. The first thing to check is that the weight is correct for each individual box, each individual case. You'll also want to double check that the dimensions are correct for each box. And it's really important to make sure that your ship from and your ship to address are correct, and that your ship to over here matches the ship to address over here as well. And you can see that I have 9 pages here, and these 9 pages correspond to the 9 boxes, the 9 cases that I'm going to be shipping in. Another interesting thing to note is the ship to address on these 2 labels are actually different. And that's because Amazon, in this case, is sending my packages into different Amazon FBA warehouses. You can then print out these labels using sticker paper, or if you prefer instead, you can use regular paper and then just cut out the labels and use tape to attach it to the cases, to the boxes that will be carrying your individual units. In this scenario, we have the case that holds 45 units of carnivore electrolytes, and we'll put all 45 units in that box, and then we'll attach both these labels to the box. We will have 9 boxes in total, all with 2 labels on them. You can then take your boxes to your local UPS store and drop them off. Or if you prefer, you can actually schedule UPS to come pick up the boxes from your house, which can be really beneficial, especially if you don't live close by to a UPS store. This next step is really important. So many new sellers overlook this and end up having a really stressful time before they've even sold their first product. So make sure and pay attention to this next section. It's absolutely crucial. Once you've sent your products into the Amazon warehouse, you need to track them and see the status of them by going to Inventory, Manage FBA Shipments. Here you'll see the status of your shipments in the Amazon FBA warehouse. But in this case, because we're sending in such a large quantity of 9 boxes, Amazon automatically split it up into 4 different shipments. And they did this so that the boxes could be sent into different warehouses throughout Amazon's fulfillment network. We'll click on this one right here to give you an example of what I'm looking for. And you can see the order delivery here. Shipment created January 26th, then in transit, you can see it was received on January 28th. Then it took from January 28th all the way to February 25th for Amazon to check it in and for it to clear the shipment. And we can see that it says no shipping problems found and that they received everything perfectly. And up here under track shipment, it shows every step, each of the 4 shipment processes. Delivered, received, all of that. You'll be able to come here and track exactly where your shipment is at every step of the way. And it's really important that you make sure and stay on top of this and make sure that Amazon isn't losing your inventory. Because sometimes Amazon can lose a package or lose a little bit of your inventory. And if there are any errors, you need to jump on it immediately and make sure that Amazon corrects the issue. And the good news is, if Amazon does lose some of your inventory, they will pay you the full price of your products. But sometimes if you don't catch them, they won't ever pay you. They'll assume that you made a mistake. We can then click contents up here and we're taken to a page that Amazon uses to double check that all your contents, all your units in this case, all our carnivore electrolyte cases and tubs have been delivered. And they check how many units we said we shipped versus how many they received. And in this case, it says your shipment has been received in full. No discrepancies have been found, which is exactly what we want to hear. Sometimes they will say, hey, you told us that you shipped 405, but we only received 400. And at that point, this is where you want to make sure you document how many products that you shipped into the warehouse, because if you can't prove how many you shipped in, you're not going to get paid by Amazon. And I'll show you that you can see that here there is a tab called Problems. This is where you'd see the notification of any shipment level problems like delays, box level problems like missing or damaged boxes, and product level problems like a discrepancy in the number of products delivered, or if maybe some of your products were damaged. Another key thing to remember is that it's very important to be patient here and to plan accordingly. You don't want to wait until a week or 2 before you want to launch your product to ship your products into the Amazon warehouse. It takes a few days to a few weeks for the products to get shipped into the Amazon warehouse. And then even when they're at and they've been delivered to the warehouse, sometimes it takes weeks before they check in the products. As a general rule of thumb, at a minimum, I like to ship my products in 3 weeks before I expect them to be checked in, but sometimes it'll take as long as 6 weeks. That's why I always recommend, if you're selling a product on Amazon and you see you start running out of inventory, send in the shipment as soon as possible because you don't want to run out of inventory on Amazon. And that's another big mistake I see new sellers making. They run out of inventory on Amazon because they mistimed it. They see, oh, I've got 2 weeks worth of inventory. I'm going to ship my replenishment of inventory to the warehouse and it'll have plenty of time to get there and get checked in. It's not true. Amazon doesn't rush or prioritize your products just because you're about to run out of inventory. It could still take up to 6 weeks. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you stay on top of that. You're also gonna wanna be aware that during the holiday season, sometimes wait times are gonna be even longer, but usually 6 weeks is about the max I've ever heard of someone having to wait between shipping their products into the warehouse and the products actually getting checked in. But every once in a while, mistakes are made, inventory's lost, so you're gonna wanna be aware. And sometimes I also recommend only sending in half your inventory and then sending in the other half a couple days later. That way it's 2 different shipments, so if one gets lost, the other one's still gonna arrive okay. And under the status tab, there are a few different things that you might commonly see, and Amazon has a list of them that I'll put in the link down below, along with the definition of what the different statuses mean. Some common ones that you're gonna see for your status are that your product is in transit, which means that it's going to the Amazon warehouse. There's also delivered, which means it was delivered to the Amazon warehouse. But be careful, this sounds like a good thing. It sounds like you're done. That just means that it's been delivered to the Amazon warehouse, but no one's actually checked it in, meaning that they haven't even acknowledged that they've received it. It just means that UPS or your trucking company has said, hey, we dropped it off. The next stage is receiving, which means they've checked it in and they've started opening up your products and checking into your inventory, the individual units. Because what'll happen is Amazon will acknowledge, hey, we have your cases, but receiving means that they've actually started ripping up those case boxes and checking in the individual units. And the last thing that you'll see is closed. And once all your units have been checked in and all the cases and everything has been accounted for that you put in the shipping plan, your shipping plan will be closed. This whole section is really helpful for tracking. In the shipment summary, you're gonna see shipment events. You'll actually see the entire timeline of everything that is happening. But again, something you're gonna wanna be aware of is sometimes there is gonna be discrepancies. And if that does happen, you can actually upload documents and follow up and show Amazon that you did send in all the units that you said you did. And if you submit enough evidence, they'll just pay you as if those units that went missing were sold on Amazon. Another hack that I've actually had to learn the hard way is to keep track of all your paperwork. Every receipt, every piece of paper that might seem unimportant, just trust me, keep it somewhere. For instance, if you're sending in an entire pallet full of your product, you're going to have to go to the individual shipment summary and print out the BOL. BOL stands for Bill of Lading. It's a piece of paper that you're going to have to give to the truck driver when he comes to your house to pick up the pallet. This verifies that he's picking up the correct pallet. If you don't have all the paperwork you need, this can cause issues and you'll be charged a fee. When the truck driver picks up the pallet, he will also give you a receipt. Make sure that you put this receipt in a safe place because if your units get lost, you need that receipt, you need that proof that you actually did send in that entire pallet. This happened to me. I sent in an entire pallet and Amazon was like, hey, we never received it. And I had misplaced my receipt. And this mistake would have cost me over $10,000, except for a couple months later, Amazon ended up finding that entire pallet. So luckily they ended up putting all those units into my inventory, but it did take a few months. So be very careful about that and make sure you keep all your receipts. Another important thing to note is on the bill of lading, there will be information about which trucking company is going to be coming to your house or your warehouse to pick up your pallet. I highly recommend calling that trucking company the day before they come to pick up the pallet. Because if they're picking up the pallet from your house, you're going to need to let them know that it's a residential address, meaning they're gonna send a smaller truck. Because if they try to send a giant truck, that's not gonna work. It's gonna cause a lot of issues. Also, if you don't have a forklift at your house, you're gonna have to let them know that they need to bring a truck that has a lift gate. A lift gate is a gate on the back that goes up and down and makes it easier to load pallets. If, however, you're sending the inventory from your warehouse, you're gonna wanna call your warehouse and ask them, hey, do you guys have a dock that trucks can come? Or do you have a forklift? Or do I need to send a truck that has a lift gate? You'll also wanna make sure you know what time they're gonna be getting there. If they're picking up the products from your house, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're gonna be home. And if they're picking up the pallets from your manufacturer, you're gonna wanna make sure that your manufacturer or one of the employees is around to help load the products onto the truck. There is one more huge mistake that new Amazon sellers make when sending in inventory, and that's sending in too much or too little inventory. If you send in too much inventory into the Amazon warehouse, your inventory just sits there and you're gonna be charged a fee every single month that you have inventory. So you don't want to send in too much because you're going to be paying extra money in storage fees. On top of that, they have what's called LTSF, or long-term storage fees. If your inventory is sitting in their warehouse for more than 6 months, they start charging you even more money. So I always recommend only sending in about 6 months worth of inventory at a time. On the flip side, if you send in too little inventory and start to have a lot of sales for your product on Amazon, you run the risk of running out of inventory, running out of stock. And this could cause a ton of issues. Amazon could even blacklist you, or at a minimum, lower the rank of your product, meaning that you're gonna get less sales. I've seen this happen to people where they run out of inventory and they never recover. So you wanna be really careful that you don't run out of inventory, especially if you're in a competitive market. So you're always gonna wanna send in around 3 to 6 months worth of inventory. And when you start to get around that 3-month or 2-month mark, it's time to start sending in more inventory. This way you don't run out of inventory, but you also don't have to pay any of those long-term storage fees. And boom, we're ready to start selling on Amazon. But the next part is one of the most important parts that so many people skip over, and that's how to properly launch your product on Amazon. And if you properly launch your product on Amazon, it's gonna get your product to the top of the search results, which means you're gonna make a ton of money. And in this next section, I'm gonna show you step by step how we launched Carnivore Electrolytes and how I would recommend you launch a product on Amazon. Using these Amazon FBA launch strategies, you're gonna get sales for your Amazon FBA product from day one. And you're gonna get your product to the top of the Amazon search results, which is going to lead to more sales. And I've used these 10 techniques to launch a lot of products on Amazon, including one product that I launched on Amazon that got over $11,000 in sales on the first day of launching the product. And the first technique I'm gonna share with you is how you can use social media to get a lot more people following you, following your product, and ultimately getting them from social media to your Amazon page so that they'll purchase your product. And it's important to know that the way that Amazon works is it's ultimately a search engine. People go to Amazon to search for things that they want to buy. And your goal when selling a product on Amazon is to try to get your product to the top of the search results, because products at the top of the search results get the most sales. In fact, it's actually exponential. And you can see that the product that shows up at the top of the search results gets by far the most sales, followed by the second place, third place, and fourth place product. And as products show up lower on the search results, they get less and less sales. If you're on page 2 of the Amazon search results, you're gonna get almost no sales. So your goal is to get on page 1 and to get as many sales as possible. And this video is gonna show you how you can get your product to the top of the search results, which is going to lead to the most money for you. And the second secret to launching your product on Amazon is to create an email list for people that are interested in buying your product, so that when you go to launch your product, you're gonna send out an email to all these people. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to get people to join your email list and how to properly use your email list. Because a lot of people, even if they have an email list of hundreds or thousands of people that are interested in buying their product, they don't know how to actually convert that email list into people that want to buy the product. And I'm gonna show you all the secrets on how to do that in this video right here. The third launch secret is to use a Facebook group. And this is something I haven't heard anybody else talk about. And it's crazy because it's so powerful. Basically, you get people that are interested in buying your product to join your Facebook group before you launch your product on Amazon. You ask them questions, you engage with them, you get them really excited about the product that you're going to be launching, so that when you do launch your product on Amazon, you're gonna post about it in the Facebook group that your new product is live. And everyone that's in that Facebook group is gonna be very excited to buy your product. So they're gonna go to Amazon, they're gonna buy it, and Amazon's gonna see that you're getting all these sales. And guess what? Amazon's gonna put your product to the top of the search results. The fourth launch technique I'm gonna share with you in this video is how to use influencers to help you drive traffic to your Amazon product. And there's a lot of people out there that have massive social media followings. And all you have to do is send them one of your products for free, and they're probably gonna post about it, and they're gonna share it with their audience. Their audience is then going to go to purchase your product because their favorite influencer is talking about it. And one of the products that I recently launched, I actually sent out 85 boxes of my product to influencers, and it had a massive effect on the sales of the product. And this ended up leading to my product being placed at the top of the search results for Amazon, and ultimately it ended up making a lot of money for me. And later in this video, I'm gonna show you how to find influencers that want to promote your product. I'm even gonna show you a brand new technique, and this is secret number 5, which is Amazon Live. So this is a new thing that just came out recently. It's basically QVC on Amazon. And QVC, for people that don't know, it's a television show where they sell products. And this is very similar, where influencers go to the Amazon website, they create a live stream on Amazon.com where they talk about different products that they're excited about that are currently available for Amazon. And you can get your product featured by one of these people. And when the influencers are talking about your product, there'll be a link down below to your product where people can go and buy it instantly. This is an extremely powerful tool because customers are watching an influencer live talk about how amazing your product is, and all they have to do is click a button and then they can purchase your product. This is one of the secret techniques that only the experts are using right now, that I'm going to be talking about how you can use this later in this video. And I'm also going to share with you one of the best tools to find influencers to promote your product is Rebate. But you can also find influencers that'll talk about your product on YouTube, Instagram, and a bunch of other platforms. This tool makes it extremely easy to find influencers to promote your product. I'm gonna do an in-depth tutorial on Rebate later in this video, but technique number 7 is to do giveaways, search, find, buy, and ultimately just get as many people as possible buying your products and leaving 5-star reviews. That's something we haven't talked about yet. One of the best ways, if you wanna launch your product and get to the top of the search results, not only do you wanna get a lot of sales, but the other part of it is you wanna get as many 5-star reviews as possible and as quickly as possible. And I'm gonna share all my techniques on how to do that, including how you can get strangers, how you can walk around town and get people to actually buy your product and leave 5-star reviews. And I've seen a lot of very successful Amazon sellers use this technique. And I'm gonna be sharing with you later in this video, not only how you can get sales, but how you can get reviews as well. And that leads us to launch technique number 8, which is Amazon PPC. And a ton of people will use PPC as soon as they're launching their product. And there's a lot of pros and a lot of cons with using PPC. And we'll be talking about the pros and cons of using PPC and whether or not you should do it. This is one of the most powerful launch techniques, but you need to be careful because if you're sending a bunch of PPC traffic to your listing and your listing has no reviews, it's probably not going to convert really well. Not a lot of people are going to want to buy your product and you might end up wasting a lot of money. That being said, Amazon PPC is actually the easiest way to get to the top of the search results right away. Amazon PPC stands for pay per click, and basically you pay every time someone clicks on your advertisement. But the benefit of Amazon PPC is immediately you can get to the top of the search results for whatever search phrase that you want. Secret number 9, I'm gonna share with you is some of the best internet marketing principles out there. I've spent 10 plus years being an entrepreneur, reading as many books as possible. I'm gonna condense it all down to you during secret number 9. And if you watch any part of this video, this is gonna be the most important part of this entire video because I'm gonna be sharing with you how to actually influence people to buy your product. And number 10, at the very end of this video, I'm gonna share with you the 80-20 of launching your product. If you could only do a couple things, I'm gonna share with you which are the most powerful and why. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna share with you 2 secret weapons that will change how you launch your products forever. So make sure to pay attention to this whole video. And the first technique that so many people forget about and so many people overlook is, as I mentioned, social media. And this is one of the easiest ways to build an audience for your product and to actually launch it on Amazon where you're gonna get a ton of sales. With billions of users every single day, you can harness the power of social media to increase the exposure of your new product by 86% and increase traffic by over 76%. And we have a bunch of different social media platforms out there. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have Pinterest, we have Snapchat, we have TikTok and podcasting and a bunch of other ones. But let me tell you what I think the best social media platforms are right now and which ones you should actually be using that are going to generate sales. And right now I think TikTok is probably one of the easiest platforms out there to actually generate views and sales for your product. And TikTok was the reason why AJ was able to do over $500,000 in sales in his first year selling this product on Amazon. He built a tribe using social media. He created TikTok videos. His videos went viral and then people started following him. They loved the content. And when he launched his product on Amazon, his tribe was going to support him. All the people that had been following him, all the people that had been watching the videos went and they bought a bunch of his product cocktail cards. They left reviews, and it ended up leading to a positive cycle where he would get sales that would lead to reviews. He'd get more and more reviews, which would lead to more sales, and it would just keep going and going, and his sales kept going up until he did over $500,000 in sales in his first year. And now he's by far the best selling product in his category. He always ranks number one when you search for anything related to bartender flashcards, cocktail recipe cards, anything like that. His product is gonna rank number one. And if you're going to be using TikTok, I also recommend using Instagram. You can post videos as an Instagram reel, which are still doing extremely well. There's also the option of doing Facebook, where you can also post videos. In fact, you can repost the same video on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and even as a YouTube short, and you'll get traffic from all those different platforms, and it's not gonna take any more work for you. On the other hand, maybe you prefer to create YouTube videos, which is what I like to do, which is another very powerful tool that you can use. Or if you want, you can do things like podcasting. Now, another option, if you don't wanna grow your social media, is you can do collabs with other brands, with other businesses, or as I mentioned later in this video, you can do collaborations with influencers as well. Once you start getting a lot of people viewing your TikTok, your Instagram, your YouTube, whatever it is, your goal is to get them to join an email list. Having a bunch of views on TikTok, having a bunch of views on YouTube isn't as powerful as actually getting their email. And we'll talk about why that is later in this video, but what you can do to get people to sign up for your email list is you can run a type of sweepstakes campaign. This is where you can tell people that you're giving away some of your product for free if they sign up for your email list. You can set up a sweepstakes campaign with rebate. This is what your potential customers will see. They can win a free product of yours. All they have to do is enter their email address. This is an extremely powerful way for you to grow your email list, and it's very easy to set up. You just gotta put the name, put the title, put an image right here of the product that you're going to be giving away, and some other information. And we did actually use this method of emails and social media to boost the launch of my brand new product, Carnivore Electrolytes. Technique number 3 is to start a Facebook group. And this is a hack that I learned because I found that it was very hard to get people to see your post in Facebook. But if those same people join a group that you happen to own and you post about your product in that Facebook group, Facebook will actually show that to people. Another thing that is really important about this technique is you start to build a community, because if you have a Facebook group where all the different people that are interested in purchasing your product, before you even start selling it on Amazon, if all these people are part of your community and you're asking them questions and you're engaging with them, what's going to happen is they're gonna feel ownership in your product. And you can post questions in there. You can ask people, hey guys, this is what my product looks like. What do you guys think? And people are going to comment and give you feedback and give you suggestions. And ultimately, it's going to lead to you creating a better product. But the other thing is they're going to start to interact with each other, and they're going to see that there's other people that are excited about this product. This creates community. It also creates scarcity, because when you go to launch your product, people are going to know that they need to buy your product right away because there's so many other people that are interested in your product. But ultimately, this ends up creating what's called social proof. As humans, we like to buy things that are already popular, where there's already social proof, meaning that other humans have approved of the thing that we're going to buy. This is why when we go to Amazon, we like to buy products with the most 5-star reviews. Or if we're deciding between two different restaurants, we'll go to the one that has the longer line. We'll assume that the one that has the longer line is actually better. Even though it would be more convenient to go to the restaurant that has the shorter line, we assume the one with a longer line has better food, and that's why it has a longer line. By using a Facebook group or creating a group in some other way, maybe by using Discord, you're going to be creating commitment and consistency as well. And this is a principle that was made popular by the book Influence. And in this book, it talks about how you can influence people to take action. And the principle of commitment and consistency is basically, if someone says that they're going to support something, they're more likely to continue to support it. So by asking questions in a Facebook group and getting people to give their feedback and basically pledge that they're interested in this product, when you go to launch it, they've already committed and they want to stay consistent with their word, saying that they are likely to buy this product when it actually comes out for sale. And I think that a Facebook group is a lot more powerful than just an email list. The problem with an email list is it's not interactive. It's not really a community. A Facebook group starts to have the feeling of community, because with an email list, it's just you talking to a bunch of people. They don't know that other people exist. But when you have a Facebook group, it actually creates a sense that you're all part of this tribe, that you're all working on this thing together. Secret number 4 is to use influencers. And over the past 6, 7, 8 years, influencer marketing has been started to be taken very seriously by all major brands. In fact, the ad spend for influencers worldwide is projected to reach over $30 billion this year. Every brand can see how powerful influencers are. And with Carnivore Electrolytes, we have not yet engaged with influencers, but it's something that I'm going to be looking at in the future. Now, I do share in depth how you can find influencers and all these different launch strategies in my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Product Formula. There is a link to that down below in the description. But there's a lot of people online that have built up really big social media followings. And I know you at home, you might not want to start your own social media account, and you don't need to, because there's already people that's what they do for a living every single day. And so what you can do is you can connect with one of these influencers and have them promote your product for you. Now, there's different ways to do this, but let's talk about how to find influencers. And I recommend going to Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok and searching for your relevant niche, whatever your topic is. So for instance, with the Carnivore Electrolytes, it would be people that are interested in the carnivore diet. Then you can search through all those different people and you can message them. And I'd recommend finding influencers that have an audience between 5,000 and under 100,000, because those are the people that you could send a free sample of your product or the product itself to these influencers, and they're the ones that are most likely to actually talk about it on their social media. People that have a following of above 100,000, they're likely to want some kind of compensation. And a lot of people will say yes to a free product. Now, sometimes it is worth it to pay people to post about your product, especially if they have a really large audience or a really committed audience. And I use the technique that I've talked about here to find over 85 different influencers, and I set them all a box of my product. This was for a previous product that I had launched, and it ended up leading to some of the most massive day one sales that I've ever had when launching a product. Now, another secret to connecting with these influencers is to use what I call spotlight marketing. You can create a podcast for free, and you can ask these people to come on your podcast, and oftentimes they're going to be flattered, because what do influencers want? They want to reach bigger audience. They want to grow their audience. And one way that they can do that is by being featured in a podcast. Now, a lot of these smaller creators, they've never been featured in a podcast before. So when you send them a message and offer to interview them, they're going to be flattered. They're going to be excited. And when they come on the podcast, you're going to spend an hour talking about them, interviewing them, making them feel really good. And at the end of that interview, what I would recommend doing is asking them, can I send you a free sample of my product? Maybe even ask them some questions like, hey, I'm launching this product. What do you think about this? Is this something that you would be interested in? And obviously, if they say yes, then send them a free product. But also if they say no, ask them some questions on like, how could you improve your product? And if you make those improvements to your product, they're going to feel very invested. They're going to feel like they were part of the creation of it. And when you go to launch your product, they're going to want to promote your product. They're going to want to share your product. They're going to want to talk about how amazing the product that they helped to create is. Now, I want to share with you one of the newest launch strategies out there, and this is to use Amazon Live. And so here's what Amazon Live looks like. You can see that we have a person right here talking about dresses that she loves. And she's talking about how cool they are, how amazing they are. And people are watching this. And right now there's over 640 people watching this live stream. As people are watching this, they can click right down here and they can buy the dress. It's that easy. And that's extremely powerful, because now you can have influencers talk about your product live on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. But that's so powerful about Amazon Live is that people can just buy the product with a one-click purchase. So this is an untapped marketing strategy right now. Technique number 7 is to get reviews. And you need to do whatever you can to get as many reviews as possible, especially from day one. I know one Amazon seller that he would literally go to bars, pubs, to coffee shops. He would just walk around town, start up conversations with people, and then say, hey, do you want my product for free in exchange for a review? He would then get people to pull out their phone to buy the product, and he would send them a Venmo or a PayPal for the full price of the product right there. He'd then get the person's phone number and follow up 2 weeks later and say, hey, Steve, thank you so much for buying the product. Can you please leave a review? And this worked like crazy for him. He got a ton of reviews using this method. In fact, I even bought one of his products and left a review because he was giving me a product for free. Another thing that a lot of people do, which is technically against the terms of service, is they get friends and family members to leave reviews. Now, be careful. This can get you banned if you're not doing it smart. One thing you want to be careful with if you're going to do this technique is make sure that you've never logged on to the same Wi-Fi with your Amazon seller account that they've logged on with their Amazon personal account. If Amazon sees this, they're going to realize that you guys are friends and they may end up blacklisting you. They might just delete the review, but it could be really bad. So you want to be careful with that. But I know a ton of people that will ask their friends to buy a product, to leave a review. And this is usually absolutely fine. I'm not supposed to say this. I'm going to get in trouble. A lot of people are going to get mad at me, but the truth is, usually you're going to be fine with this. You can even go to your local gym or to whatever local coffee shop, wherever you normally hang out, and just start talking with people and asking them to buy your product. Just make sure that if someone buys your product that you follow up and ask them to leave a review. The ideal way to do this is to have them actually search whatever keyword you want to rank for. So for instance, with carnivore electrolytes, we want to rank for carnivore electrolytes. So what we could do is we could have people in front of us go to Amazon, search for carnivore electrolytes, find our product, even if it starts out on page 2, buy the product, and then a week or two later, leave that 5-star review. Amazon's going to see this and realize that when people search for carnivore electrolytes, our product is the best product on the market because people are buying it and leaving reviews. And please be aware that if you're going to use this strategy, technically it is against Amazon's terms of service, but as long as you do it smart, you're probably going to be fine. Technique number 8 is to use Amazon PPC. And this is one of the easiest and most powerful ways for beginners to get their product promoted. And you can even just set up an automatic campaign. This is where you tell Amazon, here's my product, please promote it. Here's a bunch of money. I'm going to trust you. Now, I don't always recommend setting up automatic campaigns, but if you're a complete beginner and you just want a way to promote your product, automatic campaigns can work. Now, I don't agree that you should necessarily do Amazon PPC from day one. I personally think that you should get around 5 reviews minimum before you start spending money with PPC, because Amazon's happy to take your money. They're happy to send people to your product listing page. But if your product doesn't have any reviews, people aren't likely to buy the product. And I mean, think about it. When's the last time that you bought a product that didn't have any reviews on Amazon? Probably was a long time ago. And so what I generally like to do is to get as many reviews as possible from friends, family, from strangers, from whoever I can before I start using PPC. Technique number 9 is to use internet marketing principles. And there are 2 books that I recommend every internet marketer should read. And the first one is called Launch. And this book is all about how you should launch products. And there's so many things in this book. This is something I go in depth about in my Amazon FBA program. But the basic principle is that when you're launching a product on Amazon, you should have some kind of a buildup. Think about when they're launching a new Star Wars movie or any new movie. They don't just tell you, hey, the day before that the movie is about to go live, here's some movie. They build up. They get people excited. They have the actors go on late night talk shows. They do a whole social media marketing campaign. They put out commercials with trailers of the movie before they even launch the movie. They build up the hype so that on the day of the launch, there's a line wrapped around the block. People are so excited. You should be doing the same thing with your product. And this book, Launch, goes in depth about how to do that. But the basic principle is all the things that we've been talking about so far in this video. You want to get it so that you have a community of people that are excited about your product before you launch your product. Then leading up to the launch of the product, you want to start teasing about it and telling people maybe a month before you're going to launch it, here's the date, get excited. Then 2 weeks before, remind them just 2 weeks until we're going to launch. A week before, let them know that in just 1 week, you're launching this new product that you've been working so hard on. And then the day before, get everyone hyped up. And then the day of, let everyone know that you've just launched your product. Now, what I usually recommend doing is having some kind of a discount for the first week so that there is some kind of urgency. And this is a principle from the book Influence that I've talked about multiple times. There's 6 principles in this book, Influence, that helps you to influence people to actually take action. And commitment and consistency, Urgency or scarcity is another way of saying it, is another really big one. If something is infinite, it's abundant, people aren't gonna feel the need to take action. I mean, you're not freaking out over, saving up a bunch of water because there's so much water in the world. It feels abundant. But clean water is something different. And that's how a lot of bottled water companies have been able to advertise their product is they're like, oh, this is a special type of water. It's very rare. It's spring water. It's from Fiji. It's whatever kind of weird marketing strategies they use. It's because there's some kind of scarcity around it, that it's not overly abundant. There are a bunch of other principles from this book, Influence. I highly recommend reading this book. Now let's talk about the 80-20 of which of these you should actually do. And no matter what, I think you should get some kind of social media up there. Post videos about your product. Let people know that your product's coming. And I also think you should have a Facebook group. Try to get people into a Facebook group. Also get them on an email list. Now, using influencers is something that's relatively optional, but it can be a very powerful tool. Another launch tactic that we didn't talk about is the Amazon Vine program. This is a way for you to have Amazon get people to review your product, and it'll have this little Vine approved badge next to their review. And when you're first starting out, this could be a good way to get your initial reviews if you don't have friends or family, or you don't have a launch group or anything like that. And now I'm gonna go into a little bit more depth about how to set up Amazon PPC. And again, PPC stands for pay per click. It's a way for you to advertise your product on Amazon. And this is one of the most powerful tools to get a ton of sales to your Amazon business. But before I do that, I do want to share that in my Amazon FBA program, I have exact templates of emails that I send out for the launch, exact templates of emails that I send out to influencers, and checklists showing you step by step how you should launch your product. The point of my Amazon FBA program is to make it as easy as possible, as step by step as possible. And that's one of the biggest reasons why, if you're on the fence about whether or not you should join the program, I highly recommend you check it out. Not to mention that we do have a 14-day money back guarantee plus a double your money back guarantee, which basically means if you join my Amazon program and you don't make at least $1,000 in your first year, I will personally refund your money plus give you another $1,000 out of my own pocket as a thank you for trusting me and trying out the course. So this course is completely risk-free. You have the 14-day money back guarantee plus the double your money back guarantee. I made it as easy as possible for you to join the program, to try it out, and to have success. But now let me show you step by step how we set up Amazon PPC for this business. There are 5 steps to setting up Amazon PPC, and I'm going to show you how you can set up Amazon advertising for your business in just 4 minutes. I'm going to put a timer down below to show you how fast and easy setting up Amazon PPC is. And Amazon PPC is so powerful because when people are searching for things on Amazon, you can show up right at the top of the search results. And in fact, these sponsored products, the products that are being advertised on Amazon, show up at the top of the search results. And you can tell that these products are sponsored products because it has the word sponsored right here. So people are paying for these products to show up at the top of the search results. Versus our product right here, it's not a sponsored product. This is the organic result. So by using Amazon advertising, it allows you to show up twice in the listings, and it can guarantee that you show up at the top of search results. And there are 5 things that I'm gonna go over in this video tutorial. The first thing we're gonna talk about is setting up an automatic campaign, which is the easiest campaign to set up. It's also one of the most powerful and profitable advertising campaigns that you can set up, and it has some added bonuses that I'll talk about later in this video. Then after that, I'm gonna talk about how to do keyword research, how to figure out what search phrases people are using in order to find your product. And the way that Amazon PPC works is people search for different search phrases in Amazon. For instance, for my new product, people would be searching for things like carnivore electrolytes. And you can target different search phrases and tell Amazon that you want to show up at the top of the search results for that specific phrase. Now keep in mind that every time your ad shows up at the top of the search results and someone clicks on your ad, you are going to pay money. And that's why it's called Amazon PPC, or pay per click. You are paying Amazon every time someone clicks on your ad. So you want to be careful what search phrases you show up for. You only want your product to show up on searches that are relevant to your product. And I'll explain what I mean by that later in this video. Because if your product is showing up in searches that aren't relevant and people are clicking on your product, just because that's what people do, is people click on random things. If they're not interested in buying your product and they're clicking on your product, you're gonna spend a lot of money, but you're not gonna get a lot of sales. And after we do the keyword research, the third thing I'm gonna show you is how to set up the ads targeting the specific search phrases that we want our products to show up for. Because the automatic campaigns, the campaigns I'm gonna show you how to set up at first, they automatically target different keywords, anything that Amazon thinks is relevant to your product. Automatic campaigns are great when you're first getting started because you probably don't really know what people are searching for, and you wanna use these automatic campaigns to see what search phrases are actually resulting in money in your pocket. But in the long run, it's going to be more profitable if you set up the manual keyword targeted campaigns. Another secret that a lot of people don't know about, and this is the fourth thing I'm going to show you, is you can actually target specific products. And this is called product targeting campaigns. And it's really powerful as well because you actually show up on your competitor's listing. So let's click on this guy right here. This is one of our competitors. And if I scroll down to the bottom, I can see that all these products here are sponsored products. People are paying money to show up on this competitor listing. And you can do this, and I'm gonna show you how you can do this later in this video. And the fifth and last thing I'm gonna show you in this video is how to set up negative keywords. And this is one of the most important things that most people aren't teaching, most people aren't doing. This is a very important way for you to save money. And this allows you to tell Amazon which searches you do not want your ad showing up for. But let's dive in and let me show you how to start your first Amazon campaign, and let's start the clock. So the first thing you're gonna do is click on these three lines up here, and you're gonna go into advertising and campaign manager. And you have three different options here: sponsored products, sponsored brands, and sponsored display. And what we're gonna be focusing on in this video today is sponsored products. This is the easiest Amazon advertising to set up. It's very beginner friendly. Sponsored brands, on the other hand, is what you see at the top of search results here. These are sponsored brands advertising. Really, you need 3 SKUs in order to properly use this. And this is what sponsored display ads look like. And I'll talk about both these in a future video, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. But we're gonna click on sponsored products and click continue here. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is create a name for this ad group. And I'm gonna call this close match for a reason that will become obvious later in the video. Then we're gonna decide which product we wanna create ads for. And this is the new product that I just launched, and we're gonna click add. Now we have 2 options right here. We can either do automatic targeting or manual targeting. And I'm gonna show you how to do both these, but since the first thing I'm showing you is how to set up an automatic campaign, we're gonna select automatic targeting, and we're gonna scroll down here below. Now, a big mistake that a lot of people make is they just click on this right here, set default bid. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set bids by targeting group, because there are 4 different types of targeting groups. There's close match, loose match, substitutes, and complements. And each one of these should have a different bid price. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn off loose match, substitutes, and complements. And let's quickly go over what the difference here is. So with close match, it's an automatic campaign, and Amazon says, we'll show your ad to shoppers who use search terms closely related to your products. If your product is Doppler 400 count cotton sheets, we'll show an ad when shoppers are searching for terms like cotton sheets and 400 count sheets. So close match is the type of ad that you're gonna wanna spend the most money for. They recommend here 92 cents per click. On the other hand, with loose match, it's 72 cents, substitutes is 13 cents, and complements is 71 cents. So just to show you the difference, let's talk about what loose match is. With loose match, it says, we'll show your ad to shoppers who use search terms loosely related to your products. If your product is Doppler 400 count cotton sheets, we'll show an ad when shoppers use search terms like bed sheets, or even bath sheets, or bath towels. So you can imagine if someone's searching for bath towels and you're selling cotton sheets, it's not really that relevant. I wouldn't want to spend a ton of money on this, but to start off, I always recommend just going with the suggested bids. With substitutes, on the other hand, again, if our product is the cotton sheets, it says we'll show your ad on detail pages that include 300 count cotton sheets and queen 400 count sheets. So that's relatively, that's related. And then there's complements down below as well. It says that we'll show your ad on detail pages that include queen comforter and feather pillows. So we're just gonna select close match for this one, just to keep things simple and allow us to have a little bit more control. We're not gonna talk about negative keyword targeting or negative product targeting yet, though stay till the end of the video because we're gonna talk about that later. And we have a couple options here. We have dynamic bids down only, and fixed bids. It's up to you which one you wanna recommend. If you are a little bit tighter on cash, just go with fixed bids. It's gonna make it so you're only gonna ever spend 92 cents per click in this case, whatever your max click is. But remember, it could be lower as well. However, if you wanna maximize for sales and potentially even profit, dynamic bids up and down is really good. It will change your bid up by up to 100%. It'll make it so if Amazon thinks someone's really likely to buy your product, it will make it so that Amazon could potentially charge you over $1.80 for that bid. This also allows Amazon to lower your bid if it doesn't think that it's gonna result in sales. Another option is you could do dynamic bids down only. For now, we're gonna stick with dynamic bids up and down. Right here is a more advanced filter that allows you to adjust your bid's placement. That's something I'll talk about in a future video. We don't need to worry about that yet. And then for campaign name, for this first campaign, we're gonna call it automatic campaign. And the start date would be today with no end date. And for daily budget, I recommend putting whatever you're willing to lose. Remember, in the short run with Amazon PPC, you're probably not gonna be making a lot of money. So maybe that's $5. They recommend a suggested daily budget of $14. That sounds fine to me. Let's start with that. And down here, if we wanna launch campaigns in other countries, we could do that as well, but we're really not selling our product in Canada or Mexico, so I'm not gonna worry about that. And just like that, we've launched our first campaign, we've launched our first ad group. And we're gonna click here on sponsored ads and then campaign manager, just so you can see what this looks like. So here's our first campaign, automatic campaign, and then within it is the ad group close match. And the way this works is you have a campaign, and then underneath that, you can have multiple ad groups. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create another ad group. And this time we're gonna change what the automatic targeting is. I'm gonna click paste, and we're gonna call this ad group substitutes. We're gonna go through the same process here. I'm gonna click add. We're gonna go to bidding strategy. We're gonna get rid of everything except for substitutes this time. And we're gonna click add group. We'll do the same thing again with compliments here, as well as with loose match. And now we've properly set up our automatic campaigns, and we have the close match, the compliments, loose match, and substitutes. And that's how easy setting up Amazon PPC is. However, this is just the very beginner version. Let me show you a little bit more of an advanced strategy that's still very easy to do, and it's gonna make you a lot more money. Give me another 10 minutes and I'll show you an advanced way of setting up your Amazon ads. It's actually very easy to do. I'm gonna explain it in a very step-by-step A through Z fashion. So by the end of this video, you're gonna know how to set up your Amazon PPC in a way that's gonna make you a ton of money. But now let's start the timer and let me show you how to set up your Amazon PPC. And as I mentioned, Amazon is just a search engine. People go to Amazon to search for things that they wanna buy. For instance, people might search for carnivore electrolytes or carnivore electrolyte powders, pills, powder, no sugar, all these different things people are searching for in Amazon. And we need to figure out, what are they searching for in Amazon that's related to our product? And that's where this tool, Helium 10, comes in. And I have the hookup with Helium 10. There is a link down below in the description. You can use that link to sign up for a free account. But if you do want to unlock all the features of Helium 10, you are going to have to pay. As I mentioned, I do have the hookup with them. There is a discount code down below in the description. And I recommend signing up for this tool for at least 1 month to figure out what are people searching for in Amazon in order to buy your product. Because if you can figure that out, you can game the system, you can hack the algorithm, get your product to the top of the search results, and make a ton of money. So use that link down below to sign up for Helium 10 to get that discount code. But once you've signed up for Helium 10, there is a tool called the Magnet Keyword Research Tool. We're gonna click on that. And I know that people are going to Amazon, they're searching for carnivore electrolytes, but what else might they be searching for? I'm not really sure. So I'm gonna paste that in there and we're gonna click on Get Keywords. And we can see that over 800 people per month are searching for carnivore electrolytes. So this is one of those phrases that we're gonna wanna make sure that we're going to target. But our goal here is to figure out what else are people searching for in Amazon that they would search for and wanna buy our product. So one of the first ones that shows up here is electrolytes for water. And what's cool about Helium 10 is we can actually add this to our list of keywords that we're targeting. So I'm gonna click here, create new folder. We're gonna call this carnivore electrolytes. Click save. Now, there are a lot of different results here. We have hundreds, if not thousands of different keyword results. And we're gonna wanna filter these so that it's actually somewhat relevant. And what I recommend doing is sorting by the Magnet IQ score. And before we go any further, one thing that I like to do is go up here and filter out some of the results. For instance, we don't wanna target a search phrase that has a search volume of more than 5,000, meaning that if more than 5,000 people per month are searching for that search phrase, right now, I don't even want to target that because it's probably going to be too competitive. I also want to set the word count to a minimum of 2, and this is how many words are in the search. So if someone's just searching for a single word like electrolytes, it's too competitive. I don't even want to try to compete with them. So we're going to click Apply Filters. And we still have over 5,000 keywords that we're competing on. Next thing we're going to do is look at competing products, and let's put a max of 100, just to try to get some low-hanging fruit here. And just to make sure we're not wasting our time, let's go to keyword sales and put a minimum of 2 sales. That means at least 2 sales per month are coming from those keywords. And after going through this list, I ended up coming up with these as some common things that people would be searching for in order to find our product. So now that we have these search phrases, let me show you how to properly set this up. So we're gonna go back to the sponsored ads here, click on Campaign Manager, and we're gonna create a new campaign. We're gonna click on Continue, and we're gonna call this ad group Manual Keyword Targeting. We're gonna add the product that we're trying to sell on Amazon. Now, depending on how much control you want, you could just create one ad group or you could create multiple ad groups. For now, just to make this easy, I'm gonna show you this process by creating one ad group. We're gonna go down and we're gonna click on Manual Targeting and Keyword Targeting. Now, something that's really cool is Amazon actually suggests different keywords for you. It knows what our product's about and it suggests a bunch of different keywords. And we're gonna actually add these keywords as well. Before we do that, we have to explain the difference between broad, phrase, and exact match. And what's interesting is usually exact match is more expensive than phrase or broad match, but in this case, it's actually reversed. So let's explain what broad match is first, then I'll explain what phrase and exact is. So using this example here of electrolyte powder, broad match means that we want to bid on any search that includes the word electrolyte and powder, even if there are other words in there. For instance, a search could say watermelon electrolyte drink powder, and our ad would still show up if we did broad match. On the other hand, with phrase match, the phrase electrolyte powder needs to show up. There can't be any words in between. So it would not show up for someone searching watermelon electrolyte drink powder. However, it would show up for watermelon electrolyte powder or even watermelon electrolyte powder drink mix. As long as the phrase is intact of electrolyte and powder and there's nothing in between those words, then our ad would show up if we did phrase match. The last type is exact match. And with exact match, I actually think exact match is the most powerful. Our ad is only gonna show up if someone types in exactly electrolyte powder. Nothing more and nothing less. Now, generally speaking, I recommend doing all 3 of these. But if you're gonna be doing broad match or phrase match, you need to add negative keywords, and that's something we'll talk about later. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go through here, and anything that seems relevant to your product, let's go ahead and add this. And you can scroll through here and you could add, there's so many different options it gives you. However, since we already have a list of keywords that we wanna target, we're gonna click on Enter List, and we're gonna paste our list in here. We're gonna click on Add Keywords. And it says that 3 of our 24 keywords do not have a suggested bid. And so we're just gonna put a bid of 92 cents for now, but we can look at these later and we can adjust these. But if it doesn't even have a suggested bid, it probably means not a lot of people are searching for that anyways. So this is a list of all the keywords that we're gonna be targeting, meaning every time someone searches for one of these in Amazon, our ad is gonna be showing up. And at this point, we could add negative keyword targeting if we wanted to. Again, I'll talk about that later, but let's go down here. We can adjust our bidding strategy if we want, and let's have a campaign name for this. And let's just call this Manual Keyword Targeting for now. And it says a daily budget of around $14 is recommended. We're gonna go ahead and click Launch Campaign. Now, I just showed you a very easy way of setting up your campaign, but ideally what you'd wanna do is create multiple different ad groups for each of the different topics that you're targeting. For instance, I'd have one ad group that was just about the carnivore diet, and it would include all the different keywords about carnivore. Another one that's just about flavorless electrolytes, and we would target things like flavorless electrolytes, flavorless electrolyte powder, no flavor electrolyte powder. We could even do another one about meat-based diet because that's a little bit different than carnivore diet. And by having multiple different ad groups, we can more easily control them and we can see which ones are actually creating a profit. But now let me show you how to do product targeting ads. And these are the ads that allow you to target your competitor's product. It allows you to show up right here on your competitor's page. So this is a very powerful type of ad for you to run. And to do this, we're gonna go back into our sponsored ads campaign manager. Then we're gonna click on Create Campaign. We're gonna go to Sponsored Products, click Continue. We're gonna call this ad group Product Targeting. We're gonna select the product that we want to advertise. And then we're gonna go to Manual Targeting, but this time instead of doing keyword targeting, we're gonna click on Product Targeting. And we have 2 different options here. We can either target the entire category, which would be every product, every single product that's in the category sports, nutrition, endurance, and energy powders, which I probably don't recommend, but if you wanted to, you could actually refine that. And this is something that I talk about more in depth in my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Products Formula. In fact, I go into way more depth. We go into multiple hours worth of content in the Passion Products Formula. There is a link down below in the description for that. However, if on the other hand, you don't want to target the entire category, you can go into individual products and we can target all the individual products that we want to show our ad for. So I'm gonna get rid of this for now. And we're gonna go through here. We're gonna see which products do we think that carnivore electrolytes is most similar to. And so we can add any one of these that we think is a good mix. And I'd recommend taking some time and actually thinking through which one of these do you want to have your product show up on their listing for. For now, I'm just gonna do this, and this is kind of expensive. I mean, these are very expensive bids, but it's interesting. We can then also do negative product targeting, and this is really good if you're doing an entire category. You could say, I want to target all the products in this category except for whatever certain ones. We're going to scroll down here and we're going to put a daily budget of $14. We're going to change the campaign name to product targeting. Again, right now, since this is just a very basic overview, we only have one campaign and one ad group. My recommendation to you is to actually do different ad groups for different types of products. For instance, I know there's a competitor out there called LMNT. And what I would do is create a specific ad group just for that company. And I would add all their products in that ad group. Then I would do a separate ad group for another competitor like Liquid IV, add all their products in that ad group. That way I could easily see that when I advertise on Liquid IV's products, I actually make money versus when I advertise on LMNT, I don't make any money. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and click Launch Campaign. And at this point, you can see that we have 3 campaigns: the automatic campaign, the manual keyword targeting campaign, and the product targeting campaign. And for all of these, we could add what's called negative keywords. And what a negative keyword is it tells Amazon that you don't want your ad to show up anytime a certain phrase or keyword is being searched. For instance, we could go to automatic campaigns, and since carnivore electrolytes comes in a tub and it doesn't come in individual packets, I want to add that as a negative keyword. So anytime someone types in packets, I don't want our product to show up. And first thing I'd recommend doing is using your brain and think about all the things that someone might search for in Amazon that's related to your product that you don't want your ad to show up for, and add that into the negative keywords. But another thing that you can do is use Helium-10, use the magnet tool, go down this list and see everything that's relevant that people might be searching for, that if they were to search for that you don't want your ad to show up for, you can put that as the negative keywords. And now I want to share with you the 3 biggest mistakes that new Amazon sellers make. And this is the most important part of this entire video, because I'm going to share with you mistakes that I've made and other students that I've taught have made that have cost them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So by watching this next section, you're going to save thousands of dollars. You're going to avoid making mistakes that could cost you time and money. So pay attention. And as a reminder, next week, I'm going to be releasing a video showing you the honest results from the first 2 weeks of selling this product on Amazon. And we made a ton of mistakes with the launching of this business. This was kind of a side fun project for us. If I would have taken this more seriously, the sales numbers would have been a lot better. But let's see in next week's video what the honest results were from the first 2 weeks of selling this product. I also want to mention, before I get into the 3 biggest mistakes that new Amazon sellers make, is that I obviously have much more in-depth information on how to set up Amazon PPC in my Amazon FBA program. It's over 2 hours of step-by-step content, and I show you some real examples from real businesses in depth, how I found different keywords to target and what the results of those campaigns were. I basically go through and I set up a PPC campaign, and then I come back a month later and show you what the results were, and I show you how I would fix it. Because one thing with Amazon PPC is you're not gonna get it perfect right away. You're gonna set it up, you're gonna make some mistakes, and you're gonna come back and fix it. And over time, you're gonna create advertising that's actually profitable. It's usually not profitable right away. It takes a little bit of time and work, and I show you how to do that in my Amazon FBA program. But now let's get into the 3 most common mistakes that new Amazon sellers make and how you can avoid them. The first mistake that many Amazon sellers make is they don't put in the work. And congratulations, you've already done what most people will never done. You just watched a 2+ hour video on how to sell on Amazon. But my question to you is, will you actually take the steps necessary to launch your own Amazon business? And most people that don't pay for things don't pay attention, they don't take action. And I've personally seen how this has affected my own life. I live right next to the beach in Santa Monica, California, and my entire life I wanted to learn how to surf. And year after year, I told myself this was gonna be the year that I learned to surf. And it wasn't until last year that I finally learned how to surf. And the way that I was able to actually make the commitment to learning how to surf was I found a surfing coach and I paid upfront for 10 lessons. I knew that if I went surfing 10 times, by the end of that, I would learn how to surf. The same thing is true with your Amazon business. You need to make a commitment and hold yourself accountable. And the best way to do that is by paying for coaching or paying for an online program. And it doesn't have to be with me or my team, but I guarantee that my Amazon FBA program is the best one out there. And by joining my program and putting your money where your mouth is, it's gonna pretty much guarantee that you'll actually launch an Amazon business. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have a 14-day money back guarantee plus the double your money back guarantee. And that's how much I believe in my Amazon FBA program. If you join the program, you follow all the steps and you don't make at least $1,000 profit in your first year, I will personally refund you all the money from your program and give you $1,000. The second mistake that many beginner Amazon sellers make is they don't start soon enough. They wait and they wait and they wait. And my first Amazon FBA business made me over $100,000 in profit in just my first year alone. But the thing is, I actually had the idea for my business a year before I ever started on it, which means that if I would have launched my business when I first had the idea, I would have made an extra $100,000 in profit. So every single day that you're waiting to start your Amazon business, you are losing money. If you launch your business sooner, you'll make more money. But most people don't think about it like this. Most people are scared about losing money, but what you should really be scared about is the idea of never taking action, of never launching that Amazon business. That's the thing that's gonna cost you the most money. The third most common mistake that beginner Amazon sellers make is they don't follow a formula. So many people I meet are trying to start an Amazon business by watching a few YouTube videos by one person, a few YouTube videos by another person, and they start going in one direction and then they stop and they go backwards and they go to the right and they go to the left and they're not actually making progress. What I highly recommend you do is find a step-by-step formula. Follow that, launch a product, and even if your product is a failure, it doesn't matter. You're gonna learn so much more. And what happens is you'll launch another business, you'll learn from your mistakes, and eventually you'll have success. As opposed to what most people do is they spend months, if not years, trying to figure out the perfect way to launch a business, but they never actually do it, so they never learn from their mistakes. So what I highly recommend you do is follow a step-by-step formula, and even if it doesn't work out, that's okay. You're gonna learn from your mistakes and you're gonna launch another business. But again, if you join my Amazon FBA program and it doesn't work out, you're still gonna make money. So it's a win-win situation. At this point in the video, hopefully you realize that if you're serious about starting an Amazon business, that joining my program is absolutely the best thing that you can do. So click on that link, get on the wait list, get some more information for the program, see if it's a good fit for you, and hopefully I will see you in my Amazon FBA program, the Passion Product Formula, and hopefully one of these days I'll have you as a success story, as a testimonial here on this channel. So thank you so much for watching this entire video. Click on the link down below to get on the wait list for my Amazon FBA program, and I'll see you in the program. Thank you.